Say
What's
hi,
up,
everybody.
everyone?
Say hi. we got Allure, Big Rich, and Josh here to hang out with you guys tonight.
You have your host,
Your favorite host.
your favorite host.
Oh
And
my
then,
goodness, she's
and
the
ultimate
favorite
host.
host. She's the ultimate host. And she, you're so cute.
Oh, let me get my comments up.
Yeah, you're slacking already.
Hey, I'm just busy man. We got a fish out there acclimating now. I got Jerry set up with that one. You actually like that one too. It's a red-tailed giant brownie about that big.
Yeah, he was sitting there talking to me about putting it in the turtle tank, and he's talking about this 7-8 inch tall deep turtle tank that we have the baby snapper in underneath the 180. And I'm like, how big is it? Is it a baby or something? And why would you put it with the turtles? And he's like, that's what Josh said.
I told him the 135 with the turtle in it. That's the Fly River.
Right. Yeah, he lost his mind for a minute there. So
He heard what I said. He got a little misconstrued there.
yeah. How about you? You happy here tonight? You happy? You gonna be on TV? Aw, that's so cute. He's just the cutest little thing. What's the matter? Why ain't you smiling?
She's looking at all the stuff on the table, like what
Thinking of
can
what
I
she can get
steal?
into.
Yeah. So she now is to a point to where she jumps up onto the table by herself. She'll run across it, laughing her ass off, and then she'll get down and look at
She's doing something
Mom
wrong.
or me, and just wait for us to come, and then she'll buck it again.
You little terror, you.
And it's hard for us not to
laugh.
And she'll keep on doing it.
Trust me on this. Treasure these moments,
Mhm.
because I used to have these moments with you. Then you were so cute as a little baby boy.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know. I was Superman to you, and you hung with me everywhere you went, and you were just adorable. And then you grew up and didn't want to be by Dad's side at all. And now you think you know everything and blah, blah, blah. But I've taught you everything you know, son. He's a good dad, though, huh? He's a good dad, huh? All right, so let me check the numbers before we get into the Tracy account.
150.
Do you think?
Yes, I'm looking at it.
Okay, 148, but you're close.
Rounding, son. Rounding.
Oh, here, take her for a second.
She's getting heavy, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. Oh my goodness. You are so cute, though. Aw.
Oh, you see Dad's phone.
Okay. Here, you play with that one.
Oh, there's more fun things on the table.
Oh, thank you. He handed it right back. I don't want your old phone, Grandpa. Okay.
So she
Just down
only
here.
likes to steal Mom's phone.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty and glitzy, though, ain't it? Got the phone cover on it with the diamonds on it.
Yeah, it's all blurry.
Oh, no, 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 no. You can't have that. Oh, and this here's a choking hazard. Nope. Okay. So while you take care of her, I'm going to go on to the Tracy update.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you got it, see? All right, this week has been...
She's only going to be here for about another 15 minutes.
She's a little terror, ain't she? This week we've gone through a bunch of ups and downs with Tracy, but we definitely, and the nurses have noticed how much more attentive Tracy's being. She's moving her legs more, and then when we go to like take her boots off and stuff, she actually hold her foot up a little bit, you know, and so we can get to it. She's like she's trying to help, which is something new we haven't seen before. And just a twitching of her legs. She's like, I don't know, she's angsty. She don't want to sit still very much, you know, like she's, you know, been in this bed almost 3 years. So, I mean, I can understand it. So she's moving her legs all the time. I position her where I want her to be, and then she changes it all, moves, you know. So I'm seeing that as a step forward. Oh, no. I'm seeing that as a baby step forward, okay, in the right direction, because she's getting more aware, you know. The nurses have noticed that she looks at me a whole lot more than she looks at them. When I come in and I speak with my voice, she's always turn her head and look right at me, and except for what I have to wipe her face. Sometimes around her nose, sometimes around here, sometimes she'll get hot or something, and sometimes she'll get stuff on her face, out of her mouth and stuff, and I have to wipe it off. Well, she absolutely hates this, and now she's able to convey this. She does this look, and it just makes me feel horrible every time I wipe her face. She's like, the look is like, I'm scared, I'm upset, I'm pissed, and I don't know what's going on, but stop it, because I'm ready to cry. That's the look I get from her. And I have to, wipe her face in waves, get the left side done, and then give her a kiss on her forehead and talk nice to her until she calms down, and then do the right side, She's just she's getting to be so attentive, so, there, but she's still not able to answer us. But I can see more of Tracy in there, more of her doing things. It's getting, the way she helps me when I change her. She does her legs and puts them down when I tell her to and stuff like that. She's just, to me, she's amazing. She's coming back from, she was dead, and she was gone for, I think it was 8 or 11 minutes before I was doing CPR the whole time, but from what we later learned from the doctors, and she was so low on blood that the CPR I was doing wasn't really doing very much. I was doing it on the bed, 30 compressions, 2 breaths. And then I found out she was so low on blood, if I had lifted her legs up and someone was holding that while I was doing compressions, it maybe would have done more. But when they got here and they put that machine on her that looked like it was breaking her ribs, that's what got her back. And, so she was gone for no oxygen for like 8 or 11 minutes. I forget what it was. And, parts of her brainstem died off, of her brain. So the doctor said she'll never come back from that, pull the plug then. The point is we didn't. And then within a week, the doctor had said that she'll never come off these 8 machines. Within a week, she worked off of all 8, including the kidney dialysis and all that stuff. So that proved the doctor wrong. And one thing I know about Tracy is she is a fighter. We once got into a small, tiny accident in a 4-wheeler going down this hill. It flipped over, and I landed on the rock. She landed on my back, and we slid down the rest of the hill that way. I got all scarred up my whole, she rode me down the hill. And at the end, the 4-wheeler come tumbling, and it landed on us. Well, it broke her hips. Her hip bone busted out that holds your leg up, and then her pelvis broke and her tailbone broke. So that whole basket around your waist was broken in all 4 sides. They had to put, bars outside of her with bars going through her skin, holding it together for it to heal. And she came back out of that like nothing, she went right through it. No problem. She's a fighter, so, I've seen all these stories of all these other, coma patients waking up after this and that and blah, blah, blah. And I have nothing but faith in that she's going to be back. Now, she may not be fully back when she comes back, but whatever quality of life I can give her, she will get. She'll come back and, if she's a 5-year-old at that time, I don't care. We're going to make her have fun the rest of her life. We're going to make her enjoy her life. She deserves to be here, and to see this little girl right here, she's never even seen her. But you guys don't understand how much she would lose her mind if she knew she had a daughter. I mean, we tried. I 3 boys, and there was me. So there's 4 boys, nothing but testosterone around her whole life. We gave up. She got cut. She got her tubes tied, and that was it. And now for Josh to have a baby girl, oh my God, Tracy would lose her mind. She would just be on her, and it just, I don't think Daddy would be able to take you home. If Mom was her normal self,
Right.
I don't think you'd be able to take Laura home. So, yeah, she deserves this. Anything she ever done wrong to me is completely forgiven. She basically died and come back now. She died for her sins. Anything. I've completely forgiven her. I love her to death, and I will keep taking care of her until she comes back to any capacity at all. It may come back to like a 5-year-old at first, and then a 10-year-old, and later on, I don't know. All I know is, I will never falter. I will take care of her until I'm gone. So, she's got that, and not to mention, I don't try and toot my own horn, but since she's been home this whole, 2.5 years or whatever it is, she's never had a bed sore. She had multiple bed sores in the hospitals and the nursing homes. So I believe she's getting better care here at home than she would have in any of the nursing homes. Wow, you're a handful. Hi. Thank you. So she's doing good, and all our whole theory is to the nurses is just to make her comfortable. The more comfortable she is, if she's laying there and she's got this mean scowl on her face, she's in pain somewhere. Turn her a little bit. Check it out. Take the covers off her. See if her fingernails are digging into her leg or something. Oh no, you can't let her go.
Well, she's a problem now, Grandpa.
You thought that's funny, huh? So that's what we preach to the new nurses, is just make sure she's comfortable. If she's wet, change her immediately. If she's it looks like she's in a bad mood, change something, because she lays there comfortable and content when she's happy. So now being able to read her face, it's a little bit easier to take care of her too. So, you are something else. You can't touch these buttons. Josh, what is wrong with
He
you?
said, you can't put that colorful thing in front of me.
Trying to do a show here. Oh, there you go. Okay.
She's having
Look at you. Yay. Oh, you are so precious. So, anyways, that's the Tracy update. She's not been sick. She's not been, she's doing great. The only problem I'm having is, 3 nights a week I'm having to watch her all night, and so I'm staying up all night 3 nights a week, and then I'm watching during the days other times, and it's really messed up my sleep schedule. Before, when I was watching her all the time, I had it down. I had it. I'd fall asleep by her, or whatever, and I'd have 15-minute nap. The alarm would go off, boom, I'm up, I'm taking care of her. I had my alarm set on my phone, which I don't have no more because we got different nurses coming at different times, and now I'm cattywampus all over the place now. So I'm kind of dragging the butt because I never know whether to sleep or stay awake, or and then the other day I fell asleep. It was like what was it, 8 o'clock? Skyler said she'd watch it for a little bit, and I fell asleep from 8 to 10, and then the nurse shows up at 11, and I forgot she was coming. I thought I had to stay up all night, so I took the nap. Now the nurse is here, and I couldn't fall asleep all night long. I finally fall asleep when the day nurse came here at 7, and I slept from like 8:30 until about 12 or so, and then I was up dragging butt the rest of the day. So I mean, it's hard because I can't get a good schedule down with all these oddball hours going on with the different nurses. I never know, So but we're getting used to it. It's taking time. I'll work through it. Don't worry about it. And we'll, the most important thing is take care of Tracy. So, and who helps me the most is actually Skyler. She's if I was actually, to fall asleep, sometimes she lets me sleep a little bit. She'll go in there and, change Tracy, and, and I wake up and I come running out. Oh my God, I was supposed to change Tracy an hour ago. I got it, Rich. I got it, So, I mean, she cares, she actually cares about Tracy. So I like that in her. And she's helping me a lot. Two of the nurses we got are very caring, and one's a day nurse and one's a night nurse. The other nurse is like not very caring and just here to do her job, and we have to remind her all the kinds of things. So it's a little bit messed up right now, but we shall persevere again, and no problem. The main thing is Tracy's being taken care of, and she's doing better, and I can't wait for the day to tell you guys that she's squeezing my hand for yes or no or something. I cannot wait. I've been waiting and waiting for that moment for the last now a year, because she went from being in a coma to waking up and having a daytime, nighttime sleepiness schedule. And then she went from moving all the way from the bottom of the vegetative state to the top on the Glasgow coma scale. Now the only thing we're waiting for is her to figure out a way to communicate with us, either by blinking her eyes, holding her mouth open, closing her eyes, squeezing my hand, whatever we can. So I try every day a different way, and I try all the ways every day. But that's our next step. Once that happens, she moves on to the mentally conscious, part of the Glasgow coma scale, and she's open to more programs where we can have physical therapists here, and they will stay here for a couple hours and work with her and do different things and stuff like that. Right now, we're just doing range of motion, and keeping her. She's very limp. She's very loose. She came home from the hospital, tightened up and fighting like this, and her toes also pointing down. And she's very loose. You can grab her hand and you can move her fingers. She's very loose and limber, so she's doing good. What's that?
She's coming for you.
Hi, sweetheart. You gonna come up here?
She said no.
No? Well, gee.
Yeah, one of her favorite spots is being on the table and just having fun.
Being the center of attention. Yes.
She's like,
So that's the Tracy update. I hope you guys liked it. Hey, you. She'll continue to get better. I'm 100% sure of this. I was kind of skeptical, in the last couple of years or so, but she's never stopped getting, more and more better every week, every month. It's only little things. She's still going in the right direction. So everyone loves her, and we're gonna make sure she's gonna be taken care of. No.
She said, just let me have it. Here, I'll get you a remote you can play with.
All right, we're done with the Tracy update. You got to see Laura. That's a little specially. We can go on and I don't even have the comments up here. Let me go and do this. There we go. Let me get to the bottom of these. Oh, the meteor shower last night. Yeah, it was great. It was awesome. Now, if you go outside and you can look up and you see clouds, you're not going to see the meteor shower. So there was different people said, I don't see nothing. I don't know if it's from being, cloudy at their area or, what, but everyone else, across the whole United States was able to see them. And they were at least one a minute, at least, 1 or 2 a minute.
What would you do if a meteor just came down and took out the fish room?
You mean before or after crying?
Just like I know it's happened to other people, but what if that video had to come out? Guys, I think we're done. A meteor shower hit last night and took us out. There was a fish room here yesterday, and now it's a hole.
We're finding dead fish 3 yards over. Wow, that would be terrible. Oh my goodness. Well, you're very vocal. Look at you.
And strong. And
so anyways, you can see him again tonight. 2 o'clock is the peak time. Go on out there and try and see him. It was a good time. It was a good show. Skyler went out there and saw a bunch, took pictures and stuff. I saw a few. It was cold for me. I was in shorts. And it was, 11, 12 o'clock at night, and it was cold. So I'm like, oh, yeah, there. Okay, there you go. Oh, yeah. All right, I'm going in. I've seen them before. So, but if you haven't seen them, it's a spectacle. Plus the fact that you can see Jupiter was so big in the sky last night. I didn't even know what it was. I'm like, that's an abnormal star. I had to go in and get my little program, and it's a sky view. And you can look, and it shows you, all the constellations and then planets. And I pointed it right at that star, and it said it was Jupiter. And then it showed me Saturn was below it and off to the left a little. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh, my God, you can see the rings with the naked eye. It was crazy. I've never seen Saturn like that before. Yeah, it was good. You let it get too far, you're good. You're done for. So you'll start disconnecting wires of the computer.
Picking up change and money.
There you go.
Oh, we got Bill Smith, $5. Happy birthday, Bill. Shout out to you. It's his birthday today.
Happy birthday, Bill.
and he's homesick with COVID. There's a lot of people that's coming down with that now. Again.
If you listen to the conspiracy theorists, there's a whole nother round of COVID coming now.
It's just all the colds and flus are now deemed COVID.
Right, right.
Uh-oh, she found the steps. Mommy's gonna come get you real quick, real soon here.
What was that?
That's her. Hear me now.
I am woman. Hear me roar. Hey, you. You want your things your way, huh? You're going to be quite the little handful, aren't you? That's okay. Whenever you and Dad argue, you can come over to Grandpa's house.
It's not that, baby. Thanks, baby.
You know what I'm going to get you? I have been looking for the last year for a little, you know, the kiddie parks. They have little merry-go-rounds and little kiddie rides.
Mm-hmm.
I want one of those in the backyard for her, so that she always, you know, want to go to Grandpa's house. Thank you. That's Jerry's. Here, this is what Jerry does. And then he's got his frog on his cup, and he drinks.
She's like, that's so cool.
Ribbit.
She will take that thing and bust it. She'll just throw it on the ground.
No.
Yeah, you can't have that. We can go get you a cup of water, though.
Go get her a present. Let her open it.
A present?
Go on.
We'll let her pick it.
So we got a bunch of new fish in today, and you guys all seen the I don't know if it's albino goonch or platinum goonch. It's awful yellow though, so we got to be able to let it grow a little bit and see if his eyes are red. So
He is albino.
he is albino.
Yes, his eyes opened up and.
Every time you bring it over, you can open up one present. How about that? I don't know if you want this one.
What is it? Oh.
Should be clobbering you over the head with it. Let's see what we got. Any questions here? Anything going on before we start into this? Oh, we don't have a drinking word. If you see me drink, go ahead and drink if you're drinking. And one thing I wanted to say, from last week and other weeks beforehand, you know, people are like, oh, you're being unprofessional, this and that. And, you know, I don't care. I don't put the live stream out to be a professional podcast, live stream, whatever. I don't. This is my day to go out. I don't get to leave this house. So this is my day to sit back, drink a few, and hang out with my friends. So all you ignorant people putting up ignorant stuff, I'm just going to delete it. I'm just going to delete it and remove you from the channel. You know why? Because I'm here to have a good time and not deal with that crap. So if you want to force that onto me and put it in the comments, you'll just be removed. So going forward, knowing that, that's why this is my night to get away and have fun and forget about all the problems of, you know, I got Tracy to take care of. I got the house to take care of. I got the rescue to take care of. Oh, the houses and the apartments. I mean, there's so much stress all week long that this is my night to sit back and have fun. I don't want all these negative comments and, you know, putting me down or whatever. Your opinion of me doesn't really matter to me at all. I have enough of a following that care and are part of our family. Thank you, honey. That, you know, you're somebody new and you don't like me,
Laura.
don't say nothing because I will just remove you. And it doesn't matter to me. I don't care if the channel grows or not. This is what I'm doing with or without any of the channels. I do this to hang out with my followers, my fishy family, and my friends.
She just wants the keyboard.
She wants everything on this side of the table. Oh, what's this? What is this? See, I don't even think they can see it down there. Oh, there you go. What is that, Laura? Open it. Here, look. Open it up. Rip it open. Rip it open. Yeah, let me get you a piece of paper. Start. There you go. What is that? Rip the paper. Rip it. You just reach it inside. You gotta open the package. That's half the joy of Christmas. Rip it. Here, Grandpa, help you. There you go.
Oh, I just want the paper.
There you go. Look at it. What is this? What is this? It's a unicorn bubble maker. Let me see this. That's a handle for it. There you go. Uh-oh. Don't hit us with it. Here, this goes on the ground like this. And then you roll it. And it makes bubbles. Fill it up with bubbles. Be a good dad.
You gotta put batteries in it.
You think?
Yes.
Okay.
It's on the bottom.
All right. Let's see if we have the batteries for it. See, in my day, this was a popcorn machine. And as the wheels rolled, it popped up the balls in there. And it looked like a popcorn machine.
Yeah.
It was all mechanical. No batteries. I know 90% of you people out there have had one of those or saw it or know what I'm talking about. Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
I'm gonna watch her for a sec.
Thank you. Give me more. There's more over here. Give me more. There's some over there. Nope. All this over here. There we go. Put this all together. We'll put it in your dad's seat. That way he'll have to throw it away. He's in there laughing. You play with that for a little bit. If you like that. No, not off the table.
You have 3, it needs 4.
Aw. Well, you play with it like this. Okay? And then I'll buy you batteries tomorrow. Usually when your mom packed up everything, she'd write down exactly how many batteries we need for everything, you know?
I got a big old pack, bundle like this big of all batteries for all the toys.
Nice. Rechargeables?
Some are, some aren't.
Okay, no.
Sometimes I'll be out and gotta get batteries for the rental, so we buy the regular batteries for that. What are you doing? Playing?
Oh, we can talk about the new rescue we got. Come on, you can't do that. No. We have a pond that a city is going to drain, and they contacted us to save all the fish in there. I talked to the guy from the wildlife preserves, and he's going to come and bring his boat. And the guy, Mike, that we worked with on the last Perkins pond, where we got all them bass out of there, they're still draining that one. But that one's like, 30 foot deep. This one's only like 4 or 5 foot deep. And but it's a 4 or 5 acre pond, so it's really wide. It's just shallow. So as the water goes down, the fish are going to get concentrated real quick. So I'm going to put an event on Facebook, and I need people to show up with their waders. If you've got waders, hunting waders, or fishing waders, I need you to show up and help us, because we're going to be. It's so big that one person stuck out there in the mud can hang off fish, but can't really move. So we're going to need a bunch of people there. I'll put an event up on Facebook, and everybody can know when it's happening, and help us out if you want. Plus, all the neighbors there are willing to help out. So they're going to start draining it on the 2nd. We're going to be there and use the shocking machine to get all the bass and bluegill and catfish and that kind of stuff. And I'm giving them all straight to the metro parks. So it's less they have to stock the metro parks with. We're going to take them straight down to the metro parks and release them there. The water's the same temperature and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we did with all the bass from the last pond. And we're going to do it this time here too, which saves the metro parks thousands of dollars, which is great. I mean, it's a win-win situation. But there is some koi in there, and the people that live there are really worried about the koi. So we're going to take the koi and eventually put them into our back pond. So we need containers and all that kind of stuff, and it's going to be a big to-do. It's right after the New Year's, so that's our next biggest project we're working on with the city, and we'll see how many people we can get to show up to help. It's going to be amazing, though. I mean, it's a big enough project where it might be in the papers and the news channels.
Yeah, it's going to, but it's
Ow.
she's saying uncle.
Uncle, what do you got there? You got candy?
Those are the presents from by the train little village.
Don't let her eat that. Never
No,
swallowing
she
that.
just likes playing with very small objects. Yeah, no, she
You are too
she's
cute.
past the point of wanting to chew on everything.
Good deal.
Whoa, you dropped it.
All right, so you got some fish news you can let them in on. Let me get the comments back up here.
I've got quite a bit. It's just a matter of what I want to share and what I don't want to share. That's what we got. What it all boils down to. So yeah, you've got that rescue you just discussed. We've got a more defined date on when stuff's going to Brian's.
Oh, you talked to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's still trying to open in February. So
Nice.
he's trying to
That
have,
man's got ambition, let me tell you.
trying to have fish in mid-January. So we'll see.
Marie Dean, she already knows about it. It's North Park Lake is what I was talking about.
Yeah, it's North Park.
That's going to be,
It's in Brunswick.
yeah, it's going to be January 2nd.
They are draining it to dredge it because it's so filled up with muck and leaves and branches and trees and poop and all this stuff. So they're draining it. They're going in there, dredging the entire thing, and then they're going to refill it and restock it. So that's going to be a lot of work for sure. But yeah, I can't really talk about some of these other points because we just started talking about. We're not sure which direction we're
Right.
going to
Hi,
go.
sweetheart.
I found out that eel that we have, the saltwater eel, it's not a normal moray eel.
Okay.
It's a golden dwarf moray.
Okay.
So they max out at around 12 to 15 inches.
So he's small enough to go in, but he'll eat the shrimp.
So they are reef safe, but if they are small enough, like the wire fish or small shrimp, he will eat them. But
The
if
shrimp
they're
are big,
bigger,
though.
they're bigger shrimp or lobsters, they might be okay. Keep them fed.
Yeah, because the problem is his mouth can open up big enough to take my finger in. And that's the size of our shrimp. It's the size of, from my pinky to my knuckle, as big around as my, he might be able to at least kill it,
Yeah, for sure.
So it's kind of scary to put him in there.
But
we can keep him in the sump, though.
that would explain why he hasn't really grown since we've gotten him. He's just
Right.
gotten fatter.
Right. He's already reached his max.
Right. How's Lone Star doing? Lone Star was actually in one of my last
I saw him,
videos.
I was like, oh my God, he's so big and fat now.
Yeah, he's getting super big. He's probably about 18 inches now. He's a big boy. He looks flawless. He's doing great. He's in there with an albino arrow, a high shine arrow, tail giant gourami, and a bunch of other fish, tigerfish. It's a tank that is
She's fighting you.
yeah, she is slowly
Thank you.
forgotten about
Thank
because
you.
it's in a small walk and nobody
Hey.
likes walking down there. Your mom's almost here, honey. Uh-huh.
Mommy.
Oh yeah.
Hi. Love you.
Lori, no, it's the lake. It's everything that's covered in what's the water.
Yeah, there's nothing dying right now. It's all covered in water. They're going to start draining it on the 2nd, and we're going to be there. The 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th. We're going to be there every day until we save and rescue all the fish. Turtles, snakes, beavers, whatever's in there, we're going to rescue and save for them. Now, they're going to go ahead and dredge out all the mud and the muck and sludge and all that stuff out, and then start over again, basically, with a deeper pond. Thank God they didn't ask us to save the fish and put them back in, because I have no way of holding that, you know.
Wouldn't have done it. So, you know, we have to know our limitations on what we can and can't do. But,
Yeah, a guy called me tonight and said he's got to move his tank and blah, 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 and he has no place to put his fish. Can we hold it here for him? I'm like, you know, buddy, we used to do that for people, and people took advantage of that. We still got fish here that were 6 months later, and they're still giving us excuses, but expect us to hold on to them. The problem is we got a blue channel cat in tonight, and we had absolutely no place to put it. All of our intake tanks are full, and we can't risk and put it into any of our tanks. We have to go to the intake tanks. So we have no room for no new fish, and we have no room to set up a fish tank as temporary. I was like, you know, I offered them this. I'm like, we can borrow you a tank to set up wherever you're moving it to, and then
I'm coming.
hey, let me say bye. Bye, sweetheart. No, bye.
Okay.
You leaving now? Gonna miss you. Yeah. You gotta put your coat on, silly.
Can I have that? Let's see your.
Wait. Put your coat on. Put your coat on. Go down. Oh.
Yeah. You see this hand?
You want one of these? Oh. You unscrap one.
Grandpa in the face. Maybe.
See ya.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Bye, honey. Oh my goodness. That girl knows what she wants. Okay, let me see here. So anyways, there's no, it's not lowering down now, and somebody said something about my hair. It's all in ponytail back here. You know, just it's hot in here. There's nothing dying, nothing like that. We will be there to save everything as the water levels go down. As it goes down, the very center of the big part is going to be the deepest part. So all the fish will recede with it, and they'll be really packed in there. We can get over there in the mud. Actually, somebody with a John boat and like a 500-foot rope, we can have people on shore pulling them across out to the middle, where we can, you know, take the fish and put it in a tub, and then pull them aside, take them to the van, and you know, go back and forth like that. So we're going to be, it's something we've never done before, a pond this big. So we're going to be trying all kinds of different things. But rest assured, we will be there nonstop until we rescue every last fish. You know, we'll help them get set up back up when they, you know, are ready. We can give them some koi back, you know, that kind of stuff.
That's the UPS package. It's Kathy.
Hey, Kathy, you got another UPS package? I'm not going to say the name of this person. But they said, I think it's really exciting to see what fish you can find in a pond. Sometimes you can come across something really cool. Yeah, there's always a chance of an albino or you know, something strange, or a two-headed, you know, turtle or something like that. But yeah, we will be there and we'll save everything. So you guys ain't got to worry about it. Just come and help when you can, you know, any of those days. And I'll put a big event up on Facebook so everybody will be able to follow along with it. And then, you know, the live stream before it, we'll announce it and all that kind of stuff. So any help will be great help.
There's a crap ton of turtles there. Lots of them.
Oh, there.
Big turtles.
Hi guys.
Oh, Kathy's on camera.
Where's it at?
On the counter behind you.
No, I can see sure.
Oh.
Yeah, you took my other package.
Did she just smack me?
Just
Mhm.
kidding. No, I didn't.
All right. Where are we at? So we got Megan Tybee. She chimed in with $5 and didn't say anything.
Thanks, Megan. I appreciate it.
This chat's being super weird.
Raheem says, Big Rich, any update of the outside tank which you repaired? I never really finished repairing it. I got it all ready, and then when I was putting it together with the new poles and new bars, the front sheathing came out a little bit, and then a bunch of like disintegrated board fell down in. So I had to take a vacuum and pull all that out. I had to clear out the rest of the board. So there was like a 3/4 inch piece of plywood there that got disintegrated. So I have to scrape out the rest of the 3/4 inch plywood and then put it in there just to take up the space. It ain't going to really need to hold no structure because I've got the metal plate on the outside being held together with the bolts. Okay. So I just need it to take up the space that was there. I have to cut a piece and put it in there after I scrape it clean. It's just not been warm outside and I haven't gotten to it. I figured I got until the beginning of next summer. I can.
Yeah,
that's the job I have to do next summer.
I'm just confused here.
What? You're always confused. Huh?
I remember someone was telling me that you're not going to get that tank filled with water this season, and I remember this guy.
If this didn't happen,
this guy
I would have.
was sitting here telling me, "Oh, it's gonna be full. You just wait and see." And I'm like, "The cold's coming." I'm like, "Just plan forward for spring." And I don't know about you, but I'm thinking, springtime might be it.
Stop it! Stop it! I didn't plan on that wood being disintegrated and falling down like that. I do have to do an extra step and measure that I didn't plan on. I got the whole front face secured and solid and ready to go.
We still have to cut out the overflow and do fiberglassing.
You said no on that, so I was going to have it full with the overflow back in there, just like it is. But if you want to do it, that's what I want to do, and open up the whole 4-foot interior.
Well, it has to be done now
No, don't.
because we're fiberglassing that front anyways.
All right. So we patched the front. We don't have to cut out that whole back wall.
If I'm getting in there and getting my hands dirty with fiberglass,
My man.
I'll do the whole damn thing.
All right. All right.
Here, just shut up, quit your bitching, and let's
Did
get
you
it
tell
done.
your father to shut up?
And quit your bitching.
He does not do a great impression of me.
All right, we got T. McDougal, $20. Says, love the vids. Keep them coming. Well, thanks, bud.
Thank you very much. That's awesome. You appreciate it. And Josh is not the voice of reason. I tried talking Josh into this for the last 2 summers, but cutting that out. He's like, no, I don't want to get in there and do that. I'm like, all right, fine. I can still at least get it running.
Because then it held water. We didn't need to do it right away, but someone just had to break it more.
I didn't break it more. It was broken. We didn't see it till the sheathing came off.
But it was holding water. You took that brace off and it went.
This kid. I'm going to take you around back and beat the shit out of you, son.
Well, like I said, it'll be a next spring project. We still have that 5-foot 40 sitting outside too. It's we're wrapped up and got a heater inside of it. I have a plan for it. My dad didn't really like that plan, so now we've got another plan. But some things have to do align, get into place. I don't think that plan will start getting into action until maybe January. But definitely before Greg gets here in spring, that'll be like March, April.
Yeah. Crossing my fingers.
Well, Greg said he's coming back in March. Ed told me he's getting us on the schedule for April. So I don't know if it's going to be pushed up to March when Greg's here or if it's going to hold until April.
Okay.
But Ed didn't want to do the work with the outside pond being so cold.
Right.
Because we have to completely drain that pond, like all the way down past the first shelf. So just have the lower bowl.
Full of water.
Right.
Fish. Okay. I can do that.
But, I mean, at that point, we might as well drain it a bit more and do a full clean on that pond, get all the leaves out, pressure wash the rocks.
We can't with fish in it, but
Yeah, you can.
we can go ahead and put the color lighting in there.
That too.
Yes.
I mean, that'd be a great time to fish out all the koi that we don't want breeding in there too. I can probably pull out about 30 or 40.
The outside pond, what is Greg and Ed going to do? we've got a couple of things. One is to put in the color lights out there. Two is to, you talk to them more. So what are they planning?
So
I've got
here-
8 different things that they said they were going to do.
here's the plan. So we've got the 2 skimmers on the back wall.
Right.
We've got the skimmer
Leave
against the
this one.
side wall,
Take this
skimmer
one out.
against the back wall. We're leaving the side wall hooked up to the existing
Wet dry-
wetland filter
wetland
now.
filter, yeah.
We're going to take out the remaining overflow that's just hooked up to the jet system. We're going to make that an infinity edge going to a stream to a pump vault down there. So all the leaves and everything will now go to this area with the pump vault. We can just go down on top of the rocks and clean up the leaves
Make
type
it
thing.
so much
And
nicer.
then it's going to have pumps down there pumping up past the patio, going to a second wetland
A
filtration.
new wetland filtration.
And it's going to be a deep pocket on top of the wetland, so it might be 7 foot deep instead of 5 foot deep, and we're going to have 2 foot of standing water in there for the outdoor enclosure summertime for the alligator snapper. And then that's going to
They can
overflow
overflow that.
into a deep stream coming back into the existing waterfall now. But while we have rock on order coming here for that pond, we're going to go ahead and reconstruct our river system now to look more integral with the new wetland, old wetland, make it all look like one instead of making it look like an addition onto the old. Now it'll look like 2 streams kind of converging, make it look a lot more natural. And that stream's going to come right underneath the little deck that's supposed to be built going onto the stand patio.
Or at least the stairs coming off of our deck.
And now, while all that's going on, the inside pond will also be drained. And
Now for that, we
it'll be
need
drained for...
Pools set up outside to save the water, to fill it back up. And then we're going to rebuild the whole rock ledge for the cichlids on this side, the shallow side. And then Greg come up with a new idea on the one corner where the big peace lily is. He wants to take big pieces of slate like we got on the deep side and put them there with like 2 inches in between them, and stack them on top of each other and have stacked slate all the way up with 2 inches in between every piece of slate for the cichlids to get back in there and breed and stuff.
Oh, wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more?
So before we can do all that, we're putting on the universal rock backgrounds on the 2 end caps.
Yes.
So once that's done, we're having a new stand built for the dog bone. It's going to be powder coated and all that. Has to go in first, and all that rock work has to be built over around this stand, and then the dog bone is going to sit on top of that stand just at the top ledge of the monster pond, so you can see the...
So it'll be on the
dog bone.
ground for about a foot, and then the rest hangs over into the pond.
No, I was going to have it all in the pond. We were just building a square box for that to sit it on. You can have plants going in around it, post those all over it, to where like the edge of the dog bone, them 2 parts that stick out, those will be butted up against the front edge of the monster pond. Now, this will be for a few reasons. For one, that's the biggest tank in the fish room that takes up the most amount of space for the least amount of gallons. And the stand for it right now is falling apart at a rapid pace, and the tank is starting to leak. We keep patching it, so one of these times it's not going to work. So
And what's going to be nice is once it's in the pond, and we just have a pump down there pumping water up in it and overflowing out, doesn't matter if it leaks into the pond, and we got more water replacing it.
exactly.
So it's perfect.
But once we move it, I'll redo the seals on the inside, and then just fill it and let it overflow. And then you can have a bunch of floating plants on top of that tank. Have it as a little show tank there, and more plants on the pond. I think it'll be cool. And then that opens up another 18 feet for a tank. Or wait, no, that's 12 and 2, so 14, possibly 15 feet. So plans. But yes, Commander says the fish in the dog bone will be jealous of the fish in the pond. it is possible that fish can see, like, I want to go there, and they will actually jump. I've had fish jump from the 1,000-gallon and get against the wall, make a 10-foot jump, and make it into the monster pond.
No, they had to jump out, flopped around towards, and fell in.
It's possible, but there's also a lip up to go into the monster pond. But them bass, you've seen them things jump up
They
and
jumped,
dart.
yeah.
So I think he could have made it. If he jumped out, that's a 7-foot drop to the floor. He would have hit hard and probably hurt himself.
You said Kamantha?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Hi, Kamantha.
And so we have to be very careful on what we actually put in there. But that big monster pleco, I think, would do well.
The same fish that are in it.
Hubert would go good in there. No, that goonch will jump out. I promise you. Because then you're going to have it more closer to the top rim because you don't care if it leaks.
Well, we can leave the overflow hooked up and just let it overflow to the pond down below.
But them goonch are, we've gotten lucky with that goonch. Vince Wu says he had a goonch over 30 inches long jump out of his tank.
Really?
He said it made the jump over a foot and got over the lip of the tank. So
Wow.
he called me and warned us on that.
What's our next move with him? Into the 4400?
I'm thinking the 3000.
Really? Okay.
Once all them fish are cleared out, I think that would be the most calm, peaceful tank there because that 4000 is just filled with action.
Activity,
And me trying to target feed him will be hard. It'll be hard with the pacu too, but I can at least stick my hand down in there or a pair of tongs.
I've got them clear tubes that are 4 foot long. You can put that right in the water and feed right at his nose.
But I've got him trained right now to where he'll come up to the top of the dog bone. He'll come up and attack food. So
And your fingers.
I don't want to get my fingers, but yeah, if I let him. So I want him to continue doing that. I think the 4400 it's a lost cause. So I think the 3000 and then the monster pond. With he's 31 inches now. Maybe at
They're
around
getting big
3
quick.
foot, he'll jump over to the 3000 along with the jowl. That jowl in there is putting on some weight, and the small one is catching up quick. But now the one in the dog bone is eating like the small one. Every single day I feed both goonch and both jowl. They're smashing food. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's a good thing to hear.
Mm-hmm. And then you guys know we picked up that male albino black diamond ray.
Oh my God, is he gorgeous?
That thing is spectacular. He is also rolled, ready to go. He is mature. He can breed. So once I get him feeding constantly, and I don't have to worry about him, switching our foods or our water, because I haven't seen him eat yet. I've seen him eat at my friend's house. But once we're settled in with him and a little less, concerned, we'll go ahead and put him into the big tank and let him have fun. And then once the other male coerces him into breeding, I'm going to pull both of the other males from that stingray tank and just let him go. And then we'll be breeding the albino diamond with regular diamonds. They'll come out either het, or you might get a chance at getting the albino,
Right.
which, I mean, hets are worth more regardless. So it's just a no-brainer for us. We might have to split up some of the rays to where, we put them in this tank, then we put them in that tank to where the girls can get a break.
Do you remember my ray breeding project before?
Mm-hmm.
I sold everything to be able to afford this house and buy this house and do this.
Mm-hmm.
I had them in 1,000-gallon tubs, 1 male and 2 females, about 30 inches in all 4 tubs. And they were breeding, and they would have like 14 babies at a time. That was amazing. That was working great. Here, not so well.
Yeah, we just don't have the
room.
Right. Which I have some ideas for that, but...
But, remember I was talking to you about feeding them. and what Mike and H2O Aquatics used to feed, I only fed them shrimp. But because they were alone, them 3 stingrays ate the shrimp, and they were able to pack on, weight. Like here, we're feeding them all kinds of things, and it don't seem like, they're having, when they have babies, they had, what do we have, 3 last time or 4? 4. I remember my stingrays having like 14.
Yeah, but also at the
They were
same
also 30
time,
inches.
that and with each progressive pregnancy, that was her second batch. The first time she gave us 2.
Right.
Second time we got 4. So now the next time we might get 8, 7, something like that. So
Now, see, let me clear something up, you guys. Stingrays are the one thing that we breed and we keep the absolute best of the best of for our breeding project. And then we sell off the babies, comparable prices to anybody else, to help us afford, on the, every time they have babies and we can sell the babies for, 600 to 800 a piece. And let's say they have 10 babies. Well, there's a lot of money that helps out towards the rescue and gives us a break that month and that kind of stuff. So our goal is to keep raising these absolute beauties of okay, we had 4 babies. We kept 1 and got rid of 3. We kept the 1 because it was beautiful, and we're going to keep it for a breeding project. That kind of stuff. And any raise we got, we bought it personally out of our pocket to, better our stock. Or, the one time we got someone donated and they were better than our stock. We had to keep them and sell off our stock, that kind of stuff. So we're doing the best we can do to have the best of the best, quality stingrays, and then sell them pretty cheap so that our followers can have a $3,000 stingray for, $800. That kind of stuff.
Me about that stuff is,
What?
About 8 years ago, black diamond was $1,000 at the cheapest.
Easy, yeah.
Sometimes
I remember $1,400, yeah.
Not now what you can get for $1,500.
Here's the problem.
It's
So many people
gorgeous.
have like a pearl ray or a what's the cheaper ones?
So it comes in.
Come on, name of stingrays. Meteor. They have a Meteor stingray and they get a black diamond half breed for like $600, and then they have babies and they sell their babies off for $500, and we're over there trying to sell them off as these are high quality babies, and they're $800. It's hard to get $800 when you got 1,700 people out there selling them for $500. People don't realize it's the quality of them. This is a high quality parents have high quality babies, and then there's a mutt stingray having babies with another mutt stingray. It's but there's so many of them out there for sale now that it's dragged the prices of the black diamonds down.
See, and this is where he's still at the old adage of Toros are one of the cheapest rays. You probably get what, $80 a piece out of them.
Used to, yeah.
Now Toros are up. They're getting $350, $400 a piece for a baby.
That was the what was the special brand of Matoros? The
Marble Meteor.
Marble Matoros were $300 back then.
Which now they're worth a lot more. Which I'm seeing on in import lists, the cost of a black diamond is almost equivalent to the cost of a Meteor. So always your fish prices are going to vary, just like we bought that wide bar Datnoid, and we paid I bought and sold this thing so many times. I originally bought it for like $1,500. I sold it for $2,200. The guy sold it back to me for $18. I sold it for $24. I bought it back for $12. I sold it again for like $2,500 or something like that. And then they end up going highly endangered. And now if you get a true old school ST Datnoid, they're probably about 15 grand. But if you're getting what they're calling an ST Datnoid now, which looks like an Indo-Datnoid, if you ask me,
They're doing
with a
anything
little
they
bit
can with
wider
the names
bar.
to get more money.
Exactly, and they're still charging $8,000, which I don't get it, because a true ST, I can show you from, back in the day, you had ST, NTT, NGTs, ATs, and then you had the cream of the crop, the true ST. It was the back bar against his back fin, where it came down, hit his back, hit his tail, and it stopped. And then his bars were like this wide and
There
went down
were only
to nothing.
3 of them.
And they were beautiful.
Yeah.
And now you get things. I'll show you a picture of what they're selling as an ST, and I'll pull up a picture of a wide bar Indo-datnoid, which we had some that they actually died off in that accident we had 20 years ago or 10 years ago, whenever it was.
From your brother?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was that was the sickest thing that ever happened to me. I was at my last house, and I raised my kids in this house. We were there 26 years. And I bought the house next door, and it didn't have a garage. I built a garage, and what I did was I rented out the house next door and put a fence up there so that his backyard was our backyard. Now, I made a fish room out of the brand new garage I built and ran an extension cord from my house. I had all of my breeding stock stingrays in there. They were all like 30 inches. I was getting them all from Mike at H2O Aquatics, and they were amazing stock, amazing quality. I had all my fish in there. I had 1,000 gallon in the 1,000 gallon that's out here next to the 4,400 was in that garage. I had the dog bone there. I had 2 half dog bones on each side of the 1,000 gallon, and then I had a pool in the middle, and then I had a little extension I built onto the garage that had all of my stingrays in them 1,000 gallon tubs. And everything was going great. I was making money left and right. I mean, I'm having 12 to 15 babies and they were breeding all the time. I'm always forever having babies. I was running in the money. And then my son Richie wants to take his friends out and show them the fish room, and they did. And then they ended up leaving, this and that. And then the next morning I go out there, and everything in the whole fish room was dead. Here, one of his friends had tripped over the extension cord and it unplugged. There was no power getting to nothing in this fish room. And I was out there. I'm in tears. I'm crying. I'm grabbing the big female. She was 30 inches, which is this big around. I'm grabbing her, and as I'm walking out, she's dropping babies. She dropped 15 babies, dead babies, all the way over to her. I'm putting her on the cement. And then I'm going back and grabbing more. And we had to grab the dead babies out of the ground. It was the most sickest. I never wanted to get back into fish again after that. I was heartbroken. I was done. I lost like probably 50 grand in that fish room that day. All of our rare fish, all of our cool fish, all of my breeding stock, everything was gone.
Talk about, what, you got this house in 2011, so 13 years. So this was probably 14 years ago.
15, yeah.
We bought the house in 2000.
Yeah, but it wasn't right before we came here. We sold. I had rebuilt from there, and I had stingray stock again, and I sold my whole stingray breeding stock to buy this house. So it was a few years before this. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe even 5.
Wow.
Richie was in his 13, 14 years old with his friends. So figure he's what now, 34? He's 5 years older than you, right? You're 28, 30, so he's 33. So 15 years ago would be he would be 18.
Nonetheless, back to my story. Those 2 wide bar Indo-datnoids were in there, and those I could show you a picture, and they look identical to today's STs.
Yeah, but still, people say, oh, I lost my fish. I want to quit. Can you imagine how I felt? I mean, I'm in tears carrying my fish out, dead fish, and there goes $14,000 on the ground, because we were selling the babies for $1,000 then. And 14, 15 babies fall out of just the one ray out of the 12 that I had. And another one was pregnant, and she was big and thick, and it was so sickening to me. I never wanted to buy another fish again. I'm done. Screw this. I was done. I was so heartbroken. I was numb from crying so much. It was horrible. It was the worst thing that happened to me, other than Tracy. That was horrible. That was horrible. I couldn't. I just,
Back then we had a platinum arrow that was 3 foot long. You know,
yep.
you even think back then you heard of guys talking about paying 10, 20 grand for a platinum arrow, and we had one. It's not what we paid for it, but we had one.
Yeah.
We actually came up on that one. We bought a big arowana from a guy in Wisconsin, and I drove.
This is
all the way
long
there.
before the rescue was around.
And went up there to buy probably about 2 to 3 grand, and I look at this fish, and I'm like, know what this is, right? He's like, yeah, it's an arowana. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'm just making sure. I'm pretty sure he's a color morph, but we got him. We swapped tubs. We get him home. And sure as shit, he was a platinum arrow.
You get lucky every once in a while. But yeah, so I recovered from that, and I built my stingray stock back up. I remember selling a bunch of my. I used to, at that time, one of my jobs was, I was working as a bouncer. I was also playing in the band, and I was also laying carpet. But I also built systems at my house. So I had all kinds of amps and speakers and all that stuff. I sold off all of my extra stock of speakers and amps to re-afford getting stingrays back. And then when I got all the stingrays and I'm having a breeding program again, things were going okay. And then I found this house and I sold off every one of them. I got like 40 grand out of them. And I bought this house. And that's how we came here, is our stingray breeding program that I swore I'd never do again, and blah, blah, blah. So, have kids. They said it'd be fun. It's awesome. Have kids. No, it was still worth it having kids. And there is no drinking word. If you see me drink, you drink. Keep up.
So, next week, I've got this magic potion we're going to try.
Magic potion, you say?
Yeah. So,
is it going to go from 8 to 10 inches?
I bought into
what kind of magic potion we talking?
I bought into this company.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be the first revolutionary product that reduces blood alcohol content. It's supposed to reduce your BAC 50% in 30 minutes.
It's funny you say that. I just bought from Temu you blow in breath alcohol thing. So you can tell if you can drive yet or not, you can tell how much you're inebriated. And then you come over with this news. This will help test out things.
Yeah. Well, I bought in.
Because who doesn't need a breath alcohol, analyzer at their house? I mean, we all need that, right?
Except there's only a few on the market that work.
Stop it. Stop it right now. Stop it.
But yeah, I bought into that company, a large stake. Made some profits on it. But they had a pre-order sale, and I got it, and the product's supposed to be here Tuesday. And
I know who you can test it on.
Who's that?
Me on Fridays.
Still here, but possibly not next Friday. We'll see.
We can test it online.
But it just so happens, it's supposed to arrive on Tuesday. I've got a sick day to use. The holidays are coming up, so I think it's just like God's sign saying you need a day off and you need a drink, buddy.
I'm right there with you. You let me know. What day is this? Do I drink you under the table again?
I think you can.
Oh, son, I've done it so many times. Don't even come calling me like that.
How many times have you went and passed out?
I'm old and tired, and I take care of your mother now.
But
So I get a few
but-
drinks in me. I get sleepy.
but you just said
I'm talking back at the last house.
But you're saying you don't drink me under the table.
But I will. Not maybe right now, but the way I used to drink and the way I used to do things, the way I handle myself when I used to have a normal life
When-
and sleep.
When I was what, 14? Just joking.
You didn't drink when you was 14. When you guys were 17, 18, you were drinking all the time. And you know, Richie's house next door in the basement, playing beer pong, all that.
I still drink it if I wanted to.
Son, you can't outthink me. You can't outdrink me. You definitely can't outweigh me. You are half the man that I am. Okay? Remember that. What are you, 160?
I can't outthink you.
Cannot outthink me. I taught you everything you know. You just have a better memory than me. That's all.
A fight for another day. I just I don't fight with what's the word?
You're going to get hit across the forehead. Was you going for I don't argue with stupidity?
No, the first word that popped into my head was crazy or incompetence. I don't know.
You think I'm anything near incompetent?
Just joking with you, buddy.
Oh my God. I raised you boys, and you all came out to be very smart, very capable.
Yeah, the freaking mailman did a great job. You'll never let that one down, buddy.
I didn't know how hairy your mother was. Okay? I had no clue. You didn't get it from me. Look at my legs. 60 years old. Hardly no hair on them. No hair on my chest. And you the hairiest little son bitch I've ever had. When Tracy went into the hospital that first time, and, you know, COVID hit, and I wasn't allowed to visit her and couldn't see her. And then 7 months later, I seen her. She looked like a damn Bigfoot. They didn't ever, you know, shave her legs or her arms or anything. And I'm like, oh my God, she's a hairy son of a bitch. I've never seen that before. Tracy was always impeccably, you know, just a little tiny girl, you know, sweetheart. I didn't know she was hairy like that.
Happy birthday, John, the Dirty 30.
Happy birthday, John.
All right, Robbie Olson, $5. He said,
Oh, not
mud
Rob.
wrestling fight. He will challenge you to a mud wrestling fight. Just get your ass back down here.
I don't want to mud wrestle with Robs.
Why not?
He's not a girl. I don't want to mud wrestle with somebody my size. It's like, I don't know, you try and grab them and your hand slips around their belly. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that.
Hey, Rob, still to this day, I still talk about the smart car incident, all right?
What was that?
You know when you're sitting around, you're drinking with your buddies, and you're all telling stories, and you're all trying to one up each other, and I'm just like, you know what? I always pull out. I have this friend, right? You know, he had this smart car, and I always pull out the video he sent me. He goes walking in the house, and here goes a smart car rolling down the driveway.
I saw that, yeah.
Goes across the street into
In
the
the
woods,
grass.
and he comes out looking like, oh shit, this man beelines it for the car. Like,
He's my size. He waddled all the way across the street, running quick.
I think we should make an OFR video with all the blooper reels and just post it out there. And just
Of you running me over with the dune buggy,
and Goliath taking
taking you
people
out with
out,
the hair, yeah,
Rob's in his
mom,
car.
yeah. He says I'm in for charity, but better than Rod versus Joey. You know what? I'm not even going to watch that. Love Rod to death. He's a good guy.
That's all we'll say.
That's all we'll say. I used to think everybody from Canada was just awesome, you know?
All right.
Wait. Speaking of which, let me show you this.
What you got for me? Harley Jim says, "Get my passport in an RV, stay for a week or two." There you go. That's the way to do it.
I got my passport. I can now travel from country to country. And I did this because of somebody from Canada. And then my son is also having his wedding in Mexico. So I'm no longer going to Canada, but I will go to Mexico. I have a passport for the first time in my life. I'm going to leave the country. Now, I've gone to Canada before, back when I was like 18. We'd drive up to the falls and we'd go over to the Canadian side. You didn't need a passport then. And you'd hang out and, their laws were different than ours. You can buy beer, you can drink, you can do all that. We had us a great time a few times in Canada. And, but no, I've never gone back since. But now I have my passport. I'm a real boy now. Oh, can you keep it candle down for a minute so I can get it?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got some exciting stuff. The wedding's coming up April 4th. It's coming down to the wire now. Rob's Olsen $2 says, "I got a new black teddy ready for that mud."
What I want to know is how are you going to have your wedding when I show up in black shirt and black shorts?
Because I don't care what you wear on the other days. For the wedding, we're going shopping, and I'm buying you a pair of khakis and a button-up. And I don't care what you say, you're wearing it. And you're going to be miserable in Mexico in all black. Just let me tell you. You don't understand the heat down there and the humidity. You're going to hate your hair. Oh, man, he doesn't even know what he's getting himself into.
It's the middle of winter.
Really?
Yes. It used to be, now I'll explain this. It used to be December, January, February were your coldest months. Okay, growing up. Then all of a sudden, for years, I never even got snow until after Christmas. Then it was January, February, March was your coldest months because it's supposed to be April showers bring May flowers. And it hasn't been that way in years because April's still covered in snow, So it's middle of winter.
Here, not down near the equator where it's tropical.
It's going to be warmer down there, yes.
You're going to be in mid-upper 90s. All day
80s.
long.
I guarantee it. $1. $1. You saw that? I'm going to steal his dollar from him. It better be in 90s on all 5 days.
It might not be all.
Look at you coming up with excuses now.
But it's going to be hot. And some of the days, it might peak.
It's okay. There's plenty of water to cool off in.
I went to Jamaica.
It's an all-inclusive, free drinks, free food, free swimming. Act like an idiot all you want. Inclusive. I'm going to have fun. I don't care how hot you think I'm going to be.
I just know how much you complain here in Ohio when it gets 80 degrees out. And
Dude,
I can only imagine
I came from Florida.
Mexico with the heat
All my life I was in Florida.
index and the UV index and all the reflective sand. You're going to be, oh my God, and all that tequila.
I get in the water, I get out, I get some more tequila. I get hot, I jump back in the water, I get out, I get some more tequila. Okay? I got this. I know. You're talking a man that has, miles on his past. I know how to handle situations.
The whale watchers are going to be in for a treat that day.
Motherfucker. Unbelievable. I can't believe you just said that.
Oh, man. I crack myself up sometimes.
All right.
But we are also going, you know, peak. You're going to be at the start of the turtle breeding season down there. So
We
there's
might
going to
get
be
to see
sea
that.
turtles. You're going to see sea turtles. It's just a matter if you're going to see them breeding.
I saw him many times on the shores of Florida.
There's three
Is that the
different
ring?
species.
That's not a ring?
No, it's a rubber ring.
I have a tungsten ring just like that. I
I
left away that would spin. I don't know where it's at. It's been around here for somewhere.
I gave up my flashy diamond ring, and then we got some watches. Got her some more stuff.
What'd you do with your
because
ring?
I broke it 3 times.
What'd you do with it?
I sold it. I traded it in
Why didn't you tell me?
because they gave me the price that we paid for it
Oh yeah.
for a one-time the warranty paid out on it, and then so we went there, and we for one shopped at a sale. They were 30% off at that time, and there was so much commotion going on there. They forgot to ring up one of my watches and whatnot. So like I got a few $1,000 watch. They didn't even ring up, and I didn't even notice it until we walked out the store. And I'm like, wait a minute. And then we get to the car. We check the bag. We're like, wait, they didn't even ring it up. So we got a free watch.
You can go back and tell him I raised you better than that.
But yeah, we traded in my ring. I got a gold band. She got a necklace and her watch, and then my watch. I mean, with the way the owner of that store was treating us, no, I did not go back in and touch it down.
Well, what's going on here? Stephen Bundleluck is talking about me wearing a Borat bathing suit. No, thank you, Stephen. I don't think so. No one wants to see that.
Wait a minute. It's supposed to be a photo where all the guys are in a sling, you know?
I don't think so.
Oh, my chat went out. What happened there? My chat's not coming up. All right, we got Jim Sheasley, $20, says I never got to make my weekly donation. Thanks, Jim.
Oh, thanks, Jim. You're the best, brother. And
Lars Brumman says it's a rubber ring. It's an O-ring. So my problem is I broke the gold band with diamonds in it 3 times. It got so bad to a point where it was actually cutting into my knuckle and my hand. And they didn't want to replace it for the first two times. I worked too damn much, and I destroyed that ring. So now I get a piece of silicone, and I don't worry about it. When we go out, I wear the gold band. That's it. But I'm just...
Sue Ann asked if you're already married.
Not yet.
That's going to happen in Mexico.
Well, the ceremonies happen in Mexico, yes. So for everyone else, yes, it's Mexico. But their constituents, the officiators, they want to charge us an extra $750.
I can officiate your wedding.
You could. They want to charge an extra $750 to make it legal in Ohio. So we're going to go down to the courthouse.
I go to the courthouse. Come to OFR. Get married in the backyard. I'll officiate it. I won't drink that day. It'll be a beautiful time.
Maybe.
Here, you stay here. Watch.
Maybe. By the power invested in me. All right, let's read a few more chats here while he's looking for his certificates. we got a few more minutes before we got to get off the stream here. But yeah, we're planning on going to the courthouse during the solar eclipse.
Certificate of marriage. The church that has officiated me. I have the paperwork to send into Cleveland to make it official. I can say whatever you want me to say. Whether you want me to be like, yo, bro, you take her, or you want me to be like, do you, in all your goodness and purity, take this, awesome woman as your legally wedded wife? I'll say whatever you want me to say. You can get married at OFR.
All right, and Ashley Smith asked, so Josh, y'all set up like an online wedding gift thing. I forget what the hell it's called. It's called a registry. And no, I did not set up a wedding registry. So for everyone that is coming to the wedding, I told them, like, look, I don't want no wedding gifts. I can pay for it and everything. Like, I don't want to invite you guys because I want a gift or something like that. I just want to invite you guys because I'd like you there. So that's the.
So you can't invite nobody at the courthouse. You can invite everybody here.
You could, but we're not going to. We're inviting people to Mexico because that's the ceremony. That's where I'm paying for everything to make it look pretty and extravagant.
You ain't paying for nothing. I had to buy my own flights, my own hotel room. What's you paying for?
The ceremony.
What you didn't have to pay for if you'd done it here. Oh, I don't understand your backwards thinking here.
So if I would have had a wedding here, it would have cost me about $50,000.
No, you could have had a wedding here, and it cost you.
I'm not talking here. I'm talking Ohio.
No, here, and it cost you next to nothing. And then you and Brittany could have went down to Mexico and enjoyed your honeymoon for 2 weeks.
So we're still going to honeymoon. That's the thing. But if like we would have got married at, let's say, in Brunswick right there, I forget what it's called, but there's a wedding venue right there in Brunswick. They charge $50,000.
I don't charge nothing here. What is your problem? You're not getting this.
But it here wouldn't have been.
If it'll help you, I will charge you a little bit.
Your wife's dream, flowers everywhere, this and that, make it look pretty and all that stuff.
I'll have volunteers come over, pick flowers everywhere, and we'll bring them here.
That costs money.
Don't cost nothing. Nothing.
But so if I would have had the wedding here, it would have cost about $50,000 on the cheap side. But doing it in Mexico, it's only costing me probably about 15, maybe 20. But it is also putting a little bit of burden. Got to have our guests pay for flights and the hotels going down.
A little bit of burden?
You get to get out of the country for the first time in your life.
$900 for the hotel for the week.
Then
$1,900 for the flights.
It's a burden. Sit your ass here. I'm not gonna.
We're talking $3,000. So you wrote off as a little bit of cost to everybody.
Go to Hawaii. Go to Jamaica.
I wasn't planning on it. But now I gotta go to Mexico. I wasn't planning on it either.
It's the cheapest place to travel. It's only 5 hours away.
5 hours?
Yes,
I've got 9 hours in plane flights.
Then you probably have a long way over.
We have a layover, but
you
it's
shouldn't
an
have
hour.
bought your flights yet.
I haven't. That's what they're offering at your travel agency.
Yeah, no, you're not gonna book through him. You're gonna book.
So I shouldn't book the hotel through him?
You're gonna book the hotel through him.
It's still $500 or $900.
Yeah, but that's.
I know I can get that hotel cheaper.
No, you can't.
I'm gonna call them up.
Go for it. They don't speak English.
I know Mexican. I can speak Mexican.
You mean Spanish?
Yeah, Spanish. That's what I meant. Hola. US dollar. How much?
So they have like one or two people in there that speak American or speak English. I shouldn't say it. American.
Not all Americans speak English.
But yeah, it's not too bad. I mean,
You know what upsets me though? If I call Mexico, they're going to answer the phone in a Mexican,
Spanish.
Spanish voice. Okay. I call any other place, and they're going to answer in their own. Here's the only place that I have to hit one to hear English. I'm like, this is America. We speak English. Just ask me. I called, answer in English. I shouldn't have to hit one for English. It kills me. Nobody else does that. Just us.
Yeah, we got Joanna Nels, $5 says hi from Australia. Thank you for everything you do.
Sebastian says, I speak Mexican. Hayden G says, I know Mexican.
Pennsylvania Beagle says 50 grand for a wedding is insane. 30 is also insane. If that's what floats your boat, I guess. Seems like a waste to me.
It is.
So-
You got how much invested in this? 10?
Now 10. By the time I'm done, it'll be 15 or 20. And that's the cheapest I can find. That there's people out there. Some might be fine just going down and getting married at the courthouse. It cost you $75.
Sebastian says, the fastest mouse from Mexico. I remember that. That was a cartoon. And a little Mexican dude, and he was so funny. He was so great. I loved him. Is arriba, arriba. And he'd take off and he'd fly. I forget his name, though. Something Mouse. What was his name, Sebastian? I used to love that cartoon
So
when I was a boy.
you can go down, pay $75, and you can get married at the courthouse if that's what you're into. But all these girls have this vision of what they want in a wedding. I want to be married in a church, which is by far the most
Speedy Gonzalez. That
expensive
was
thing
it. I'm sorry.
you can possibly
Speedy
do.
Gonzalez. I love Speedy Gonzalez. He was awesome.
If you
The
get
little
married
mouse
in a church,
from Mexico.
50
He was
grand
fast.
on the low side.
Arriba. Phew, he gone. Are we having two different conversations?
Yeah, we are. So I think that's a good time to call it.
Why? Keep going. We're having fun here. Are we not having fun, guys?
Because I've got.
Oh my God, you and your timeline.
I plan my week to a T.
All right. You may leave if you yell down that aisle and ask Skyler if she wants to do after hours.
Skyler,
Don't
you want to do
whisper.
after hours? Skyler. I tried, bud.
You try.
Skyler!
Skyler, come on out if you want to do after hours.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Whoops World said his kid spent over 50K.
Yeah, it's not hard into today's day and age. I know someone who their dad just spent and paid for half of their.
Wait a minute. I
Wedding.
can see Mexican strippers? Is that a thing?
So wait, listen to this, all right? So I have a friend that their dad
Wait.
just paid.
There's something wrong with this.
They
You have
paid
a friend.
for half of
You have
the
a friend.
wedding.
You have a friend.
Her dad cut her a check for 75 grand, half of the wedding.
I'll never be that kind of father. I made you out to be self-sufficient, supportive.
So-
you didn't need a woman. You can cook, you can clean, you can
So
fix houses, you can build things. I
And-
made you an all-around good American. And then you got a girl that is like happy to have you. Okay, she can do for you what I couldn't do. But I'm not whipping out a check for 75 grand. I'm not
But-
Donald Trump.
but it's
Does this
tradition.
hair look orange?
But it's tradition. It's actually tradition of the
The
bride's
father pays for it.
But
Come on, Dave, pay for it.
so now I'm thinking of Alora. Now I'm gonna have to pay for her wedding when that day comes.
Yeah, buddy.
Crazy. All right,
Ashley
let me
says
go
my
see if I
daughter's
can-
screwed. I ain't paying for no wedding.
Skyler! She might be down with her dollhouses.
Wake up, beta breeder. Steven said that. Sebastian says, Skyler, arriba, arriba. I got her, Josh. Would you like to stay on for
A little bit, yeah.
after hours? Sorry.
I was sleeping.
You're what? Oh, was you sleeping?
Yeah.
Josh says he tried. He yelled for you a lot,
Yeah.
but he went, Skyler. So, what you got this?
My aunt.
What you drinking there? Liar. It's in a pitcher. It's not water.
I got to drink 64 ounces. I'm like, an hour. Water.
Yeah, that's water. It smelled like death to me, like, you know, I don't know, gin or something. It was horrible.
Laid back.
Laid back, got your mind on your money. See you, Josh.
All right, guys. I will see you all tomorrow. I'm gonna go check on this fish.
What is? Wow. Okay. Underlay, Skyler. Everyone's yelling for you.
I'm back.
Give Josh the breathalyzer, Rich. I should, Bucky.
What'd you guys talk about? What were the fun points? I saw some of it, but
The parents of the girlfriend pays for the wedding. The father of the groom pays for the alcohol, and that's normal. That's normal.
that's how it
right?
works.
That's from everywhere. Yeah.
Wait, I should turn my phone down. I don't know where that's up.
Command that says, let's have Rich take the breathalyzer tonight.
Oh, Whips World said hi, Miss Skyler. I remember him.
Yeah.
Right?
He was like what, 6'6".
Yeah, he was taller than you.
He was definitely taller than me.
How is the beta room? Beta room's doing really good. All of the babies that I have right now are
It's
getting
more than
big.
you expected, isn't it?
It's more than you expected, isn't it?
No, I knew I was giving you the whole room, but you
Oh, yeah,
didn't.
the room you're talking about. I was talking about the amount of babies that I've had so far.
No. I put you in that room and you,
Oh,
you
yeah.
took over and you were like clustered as could be. And
I
then I
thought I
come
was
down
only-
there. Right.
So I'll set it up for the people that haven't seen the video. There are like 4 different sections to it. What is it? What are the dimensions of the room?
Don't matter.
Okay, well either way, I thought I was gonna get like maybe 2, maybe 3 sections of it, and then Rich surprised me with move this crap out of the way so we can
Move
put the
this
stand
crap
in
out
here.
of
And I
the
was like, what? It blew
And then
my
I put
mind.
up the black curtains, made
Yeah.
it look beautiful. Then I put in the shelves for you. And now moving the other
surprised me with
stand
that.
and more shelves, and you're getting,
Because
you're
I was
getting room
I
everywhere.
was annoying you, so we were just doing our separate ways. We were supposed to be working together, and so I was like, I thought we were gonna wait to build the shelves so we could, do them outside, and then you came down and showed me that, and it was awesome. Super happy. I was hoping community service was supposed to be coming today.
They
and-
didn't show up today.
Yeah, they didn't show up because I need help when it comes to doing water changes on all of these tanks right now until we get the drain hooked up to it and the sink hooked up. And so I was planning on doing it, and then I need help carrying the tanks because some of them are going to be pretty heavy to move onto that stand.
Right.
And so nobody showed up, and I was just like, I gotta wait till the next time they do.
We got Nicole Drinkwater, $4.99. Thank you, Nicole. Says Skyler's looking cute tonight. Let me know when you're in Vegas next. I'll show you a good time.
Never been to Vegas. Maybe that's where I'll
There
go
you
next.
go. You're guaranteed a good time when you
yeah.
go there.
Samantha said, how many would you say you have?
Oh, gee. 3 different sets of babies at 30 or so a piece.
Yeah, 2 of them were accidents though, but at
Right.
least
then-
100 vet betas in total.
No, more than that, because you've got
Yeah.
30 of the girls sorority, and then you had like 10 or 12 of the male betas, and then you had babies. So let's say 100 babies, and then I'm going
At least
around
100.
150 or so.
There's a lot of betas. It's stressful.
There's
But-
babies you didn't even see yet.
Yeah, pretty much. But I'm trying to hold it back for a little bit because we have a plan. We're just trying to find a good place to.
Yeah, we're not into breeding mode yet.
No,
We're into
is
setting up the room, and these guys keep breeding. I tell everybody, they're like, "Oh, betas are so hard to breed." I'm like, "No." She walks by a puddle, kicks a beta into the puddle, and has babies. It's that easy for her, you know.
Somebody asked beforehand, how do I keep my single lady betas from getting egg bound? The males rarely help. You can use an Epsom salt bath for
No.
that.
Let me answer this one.
You can answer this one.
Yes.
What you learned about
The
betas?
ladies getting egg bound is more of a myth than it is. Now, if you have a female that does get egg bound, she will get huge and really swell up. You can then take Epsom salt and put it into her tank, and it's a natural diuretic, and it will help expel the eggs and all that. Another way is what she's done is every time she sees a female with eggs, she throws them in with the male.
I have some really docile males, so it makes it a little bit easier for me. It's a little bit sketchier.
And then she lays her eggs, and the male takes care of that, and she takes the female back out. So, I mean, there's a couple different ways to handle it. But, if you're sitting there and it's a situation to where you can't really, move them and put them in with males and take them out and this and that, you can always use Epsom salt. It's a natural diuretic. It will make them have, the shits and clear out everything in there and also help pass the eggs.
Another thing is a good way to tell is when they're actually getting egg bound as opposed to just having eggs is their anus will start protruding from them.
Their
so
what?
Their anus will start protruding, so they'll
Their
have
what?
their anus.
Anus?
Yes.
Why do you say anus and hold up 2 fingers?
Because so instead of having one white spot underneath them where the eggs are, they'll have 2.
Okay. It just looked a little strange to me.
Right now the problem's been finding tanks and finding containers and stuff. And then we've been killing ourselves over this because do you know how much stuff we sold at the yard sale that we could have used for this? Rich?
Oh, yeah.
We could have probably had that room full by now.
What is everybody laughing about? What's going on?
You kept making me say anus.
Oh. You were saying it like this, anus. And I'm like, why are you holding 2 fingers up while you say the word anus?
One for the... No, I can't say that. Because one's white and the other one comes white. And they protrude.
So it's been what? 3 weeks since you've been on the live stream.
Something
Do you
like
want to tell everybody about your near-death experience?
that. Oh, yeah.
Hang on. Do you want to catch everybody up on this? Because nobody
Yeah.
really knows what happened.
Yeah, I'll tell everybody what happened.
Okay, hang on. Let me start it off.
Okay.
Ever since she's lived here, she's always gotten at least once a week a nosebleed out of nowhere. She'll be talking, all of a sudden her nose starts running, and it comes out and goes over her lips and down to her chin and drips before she's like, "Oh my God, my nose is bleeding," So it comes on that quick and that fast. It's once a week. Well, this last week of before this is going on, she's getting them 1 or 2 times a day. Then after a couple days, she's getting them 3 times a day. And then all of a sudden, the last day, she's got 4 nosebleeds, and they were, it was just protruding blood everywhere. It was horrible. So I told her she needed to go to the hospital because of loss of blood. She's puking out blood.
Let me tell this story because you didn't want to see it for the first half of the day.
She was puking out blood, and also nose bleeding. So it's also dripping into her sinuses, and she's swallowing it into her stomach, and then she's puking it out. Well, after a few days, and it came the 4th day, I told her, you need to go to the hospital because this is what happened to Tracy, and this is how Tracy died from lack of blood. So I was really worried. So I call 911, and I send her to the Brunswick, medic care center or whatever. And they're like, okay, here's some pills. And they sent her home. And as soon as she came home, she had another nosebleed. I'm like, absolutely not. Oh, hell no.
I got to tell this story.
You didn't. You will. You didn't want to even go. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. You're going back to the hospital. So I call 911 again, and I take her to Southwest General this time. And they go in there, and they're like, oh, my God, this is serious, which the other place should have done, So now they start doing stuff. Go ahead and take over.
All right, I'll start from the beginning again because I told Rich, I was like, hey, my nose is bleeding really bad, and Rich was like, it'll be fine.
It's just a nosebleed.
And then it kept going. I maybe had 4 or 5 really bad nosebleeds.
That's after you had 2, then you had 3 the next day, then the next day you had 4.
This is the worst day. This is on the worst day.
Yeah.
So the whole week I had really, really bad nosebleeds that would last for probably an hour or so. But this time, it was probably 6 hours or so of nosebleeds, and it was choking me, and I was just spitting out blood, throwing up blood, chunks the size of my fist.
Because she was puking it out, I grabbed mason jars.
No, this is after. Wait till that.
Okay.
Because this is the first time. This is before the first hospital. Right. And I just had a picture, and I was trying to show Rich. Rich is like, don't show me.
I don't want to see that.
And so I showed the nurse. The nurse freaked out when I showed her. And then she started texting you, and it was like, something needs to, Skyler needs to go somewhere. Skyler needs to get this checked out. This is serious.
Too much blood loss.
Yeah, and we're still okay, it's
It wasn't going to have a second woman die here at all. No way.
We're not there yet. But then I started getting them more and more to the point where I was like, holy crap, I'm losing too much blood. I'm getting lightheaded.
Scared.
Yeah, I was getting really lightheaded and stuff. And so then Rich calls 911, has him take me. I'm delirious, so I was just yeah, whatever. I didn't even know what was saying. He was trying to get
I'm telling them, don't take her to the medic center in Brunswick. Take her to the hospital all the way in Medina, Cleveland Clinic. And they were like, oh, no.
Delirious.
And she comes in with, oh, no, it's all right. My insurance will cover it. And I'm like,
I thought I was talking about the good place. I don't know. I was delirious. And
so they took her to the med center in Brunswick.
And then they were just, oh, wait, this is funny. This is the funny part. Okay, so I was there, and they were, because my nose had finally stopped bleeding when I got there, so they didn't think it was serious. So they were going to send me home with just some nose spray.
Wait.
And then
She sprung on me.
No.
She stuffed tampons up her nose.
I have the
and
actual
strings hanging.
Wait, I have the text messages.
What the hell?
Hold on, let me read the text messages because I have them. So I texted Rich, I'll tell you exactly what I said because this is pretty funny. Screenshots, where are we here? Okay, here we go. Where's the start of them? Okay.
Yes, it was near death because she was 5 quarts low on blood. And, they're telling her at this med center, go back home and blah, blah, blah. As soon as she got home here, I called 911 again and said, no, absolutely not. You're not spending it. This happened to Tracy. I'm not going to. No, you're going in. I'm not going to stand around and let you die like what happened with Tracy because I listened to people. They wouldn't take her in. I took her to the hospital. They sent her home. 2 days later, she's coughing up blood on her hand. They finally took her in.
I'm not there yet.
On the way to the, I wake her up. I tell her she has to go in the hospital. I have to give her a shower because she wanted to puke off of her shoulder. So I took her in the shower, and that's where she died from sitting up. She was so low on blood. So now, I didn't know anything. I've never dealt with that before. I picked her up. I threw her on the bed. I started doing compressions. I called 911, put her on speakerphone, and I was doing compressions. I never saw this before. I never dealt with it before. I didn't know you're not supposed to do it on the bed. It's less effective. I didn't know that if they're low on blood, lift up their legs, and I didn't know any of this. I could have helped more if I didn't know this. I didn't know this. But in this situation, she's lost so much blood because when they send her home, I'm
not done because I have to read the text messages between us from the hospital. I said, they ain't doing shit or checking for shit. I want to figure out what's wrong with me. And he said, don't ask them. Just make it bleed again. They will look at it.
Yeah, cough and your nose will start bleeding.
And I was like, God.
Get blood everywhere.
And then now they believe me my nosebleeds are bad. And then it was they were like, "Is this the worst one?" I was like, "No, this is the least bad one." Now she's taking me seriously. And then I was like, "They're packing my nose and giving me meds. God damn it. Made my nose bleed again just for bad news." And then I said, "OF, what the hell? I just Googled nose packing. I don't want that crap." And you
They
were
put
like,
packing way up into your nose and fill your sinuses
Yeah, I
with
know.
all this stuff.
Yeah. And I said, "Google it, Richard."
Stop calling me Richard.
That's what you said next. And I was like, I made it stop. They're not packing it anymore. But then I get back and like I was like, oh, my nose has finally stopped bleeding. And then like instantly,
As soon as you were here, it started bleeding.
but it started bleeding so bad where I'm just sitting there and I'm just like gushing blood out. I can't get up to walk or anything, so I'm just holding my hands out. Rich grabs, you can tell the rest from here.
I grabbed what?
The mason jars.
Oh, yeah. That's when I'm like, okay, she keeps puking all this blood. Well, let's measure it somehow. So I grabbed big mason jars. I got like 50 of them in the cupboards. I grabbed a mason jar, handed it to her. She puked into that, filled it up halfway with one puke. I set it down and grabbed another mason jar. She filled up 4 mason jars full of puke.
It was all blood puke. It was all
It
blood.
was blood. It was blood. It was like nasty blood. And I'm like, there's no way after 4 days of going through this and all the blood's nose bleeding I've seen, and now the puking of the blood, this much, that you have you are way lower in blood than you need to be. And I called the other place and told them, and they sent out the 911 again, and they took her there, and then instantly they're like, oh my God, this is serious. Thank you. And finally they took care of her, and what they did was they went up in her nose and cauterized her nose.
Yeah,
And what it was a bleed in the back of her nose, so it was going down into her stomach, and she was swallowing all the wetness you'd think is spit or something. She swallowed it, and it's piling up in her blood. She's puking that out.
Yeah, but
So you had lost so much blood.
Yeah. And then they made me wait in that hospital for 6 hours before I saw anybody. And I passed out on the seat, and then I took their blanket home with me because I was like, if I'm going to wait 6 hours, I'm just coming home with a blanket. But the doctor there was great. They took me seriously. Like, they took blood work and everything. They made sure, like, everything was good. I signed something for, like, a blood transfusion. I mean, they just got everything. As soon as I waited 6 hours, but as soon as I got in, they handled everything super, super quickly.
They ended up giving her like 3 pints of blood, and then they sent her home.
Yeah.
Once her nose was cauterized and her nose wasn't bleeding no more, and she was still weak and nauseous.
It took me a couple days.
It took you almost a week
Yeah.
to get back up to full strength because you were so low in blood. Now, if I'd have let that go and been like, oh, they sent you home, that's fine, bleed out for another couple days, she would have pulled what Tracy did, and she would have had the same episode Tracy did and
I
died.
lost, like, what, 4 or 5 pints of blood, something like that.
Yeah, it was too much. It was too much. And that's what I was bitching about. I'm not going to let that happen to another person. I learned on the first time,
The good thing was that when I lost so much blood, my anxiety went away, and I was in, like, this delirious state almost.
Delirious euphorium.
Yeah, delirious euphoria. But no, it's because my nose keeps getting so dry, so now I gotta Vaseline my nose like twice a day. And so that's what happened. It's fixed. I haven't had nosebleed, knock on wood, since then, but that was pretty scary.
Michael Todd says something, and you guys can read his question, but I'm just going to say I thought Canadians were the nicest people ever, and now I'm kind of jaded. I won't. I got my passport to go up there and visit my Canadian buddies, and now I'm not going to Canada. Period. We'll never speak their name again.
Harley Jim says hospital blankets are great. Also when they warm them up. And I've actually been sleeping with the hospital blanket since I came back because it's really like it's perfect at like regulating your body temperature. Lars says, yeah, I got after my blood work came back good. That's when I got to go back.
Sebastian says, thanks, Reg, for saving Sky.
Hi, Sebastian.
So yeah, it seems like such a simple thing, but if you lose so much blood, that's how Tracy's heart stopped, because she lost so much blood puking it up. And, she'd just tell me, oh my God, I puked up so much blood. And I'm like, well, where's this blood coming from? Why are you puking blood? And she's like, I'm just sick. I feel fine though. And she laid in bed, and, I finally took her into the Cleveland Clinic, and they sent her home with an upper respiratory infection. Two medications, send her home. I'm like, no, she's like a puppy with parvo. If I pick her up, she's going to shit her pants. She's that weak. She's horrible. And they're like, no, she's going to go home. So I, sent her home. And, I'm calling them every day. She's terrible. She's on the verge of dying. You don't understand. And finally, once I said that she was coughing up blood, they said to bring her in. Well, at that point is when I go to get her up to take her in, and she wanted to take a shower before she went to the hospital. She stood up, and here's where the problem came in. She stood up and walked to the bathroom with me and sat down on her shower chair, sitting up. I take the shower thing, and I start washing her up, and I start cleaning her off. And then she just leaned forward, and her head hit my shoulder, and it was the longest breath out I've ever heard. It was like, I mean, it freaked me out. I was like, what the hell? What's going on? And, I can't even talk about it. I put my ear to her chest. I heard no heart pounding. I put my cheek up to her face. I felt no air breath. She was dead. I bear hugged her, took her to the bed. And, the first thing I thought of was getting breath for her. So I pushed down on her chest, and all this black stuff came out of her mouth and just gurgled all down the side of her face. And I was like, oh my God, what is that? And I pulled her shoulder towards me and pushed on her solar plexus. And she just like puked out like 2 more coffee cups full of this black crap. I called 911 and left her on speakerphone. And I started doing, compressions then. And, 911 was so unprofessional. It was horrible. They're like, sir, are you a certified CPR technologist? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, shut up. My wife is dying. Get some people here. And they're like, sir, we have people on the way, but I don't want you touching her. I'm not going to sit here and no. And I'm giving her compressions, and I'm giving her breath. And I got this black stuff all over my face, from giving her breaths. And when the firemen came in, and, I saw, because I got a huge house. So when they came in the front door, I picked Tracy up, bear hugged her, and I had a broken foot at the time. So I hobbled on out, and they said, put her down on the ground. I put her down on the ground. And I had this black stuff all over, and all these firemen are looking at me like this and backing off. I didn't know why, So they put this machine on her, and they get her, her heartbeat back. But it was 8 or 11 minutes before they got here. So that whole time she went without oxygen. If I was a doctor or something and known better, I would have thrown her on the ground. I'd have had somebody hold her legs up while I'm doing CPR. That would have been better. But I threw her on the bed, and I called 911. I didn't know no different. That's the first time I've ever done CPR, and I learned CPR from watching, South Park. I didn't ever take no classes or nothing. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm trying everything. So they got her heartbeat back. Well, this was all from lack of blood because she puked it out so much. And now I'm going through the same thing with Skyler. I'm not going to stand still and not, they sent her home. I'm like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Call 911. You're going to another hospital. And that's what, they found, and they got her, and, they saved her at that point. They cauterized her nose, and, she could have died the same way Tracy did.
I said, okay, so we say, I had a nosebleed, but if you would have, I was drenched in blood. I was covered in blood. Blood was everywhere.
Oh, dude, it looked like a murder scene here. There was blood everywhere.
Like, multiple rooms, just blood everywhere.
So I've never been in that situation. When Tracy went down, that was 3 years ago. I was 57. In 57 years of my life, I've never had to deal with that. And then I dealt with it with Tracy. And then, this is the aftermath of it. And I'm going to take care of her and stuff. And then it's going to happen with you in front of me. I wasn't going to let it happen, I'd learned too much at that point.
Well, Tracy was probably how I was, where she got that delirium state. Remember when she was like, I feel fine.
She didn't know
because I felt
who she was
totally
or who I was.
I was just totally content and everything. I wasn't anxious at all. Usually when they take my blood pressure, it always goes up because I get anxious, and my blood pressure was the lowest I've ever gotten it.
Jens Carlson says, "Are you a Viking?"
Yeah, she might be a Viking.
Samantha says, "Hugs." Oh, thank you.
We're on sad stories.
Captain Stanley, here's a good story. He had a 45-gallon tank start leaking. He caught it early, no mess. Relocated the
nice.
fish tank today. Resealed by you and Josh video. Aw, I'm so glad we could help Captain Stanley. That's awesome. I love that.
Somebody asked if I'm taking iron. I've been taking like a bunch of vitamins, and so it's been a couple weeks, and I've been fine.
Well, you're not weak no more. You know, you
Yeah,
were so
fine.
like I don't know, like you were malnutrition. You were like just barely moving. You know, and I was like, this ain't right. So yeah, Skyler could have gone a totally different way because of the hospitals. You know, if I'd have listened to him like I did the first time with Tracy, you know, okay, they said it's no big deal. I'm not so scared no more. You know, just lay down and, you know, enjoy yourself. You know, you need some soup, you need whatever. And here, you know, poor Tracy was dying more every day. You know,
What?
lower in blood. What? Go ahead.
No, okay, you can continue. But I have a funny part of the story. After I started my nosebleed, and they started taking me seriously when I created the murder scene. And
There's blood everywhere. Yeah.
I created a murder scene in their room. Like, I mean, I was like, oh, you want me to go over? They were like, go to the sink. And I started peeking. They were like, no. And they were grabbing, like, biohazard bags. Like, one doctor's trying to help hold me up. One doctor's trying to clean up all the blood off the floor. They got blood all over their counters, their sink, their chair, the hospital bed. And they, like, took out, like, every towel that they could from there to try and clean
Meanwhile,
up all the
I'm
blood.
home here cleaning up the floors, the cabinets, the
I was
counters,
like-
and saying,
I was like,
you bleeding here.
they says both doctors are there for the money, and I knew that. I was like, fuck, they're gonna charge me for every last
What
bit
did
of
you
this.
just say?
Frick, they're gonna charge me for
There
every
you
last
go.
bit of this. And so I packed as much hospital stuff in my bag as I could, and I went home.
Yeah, that was a trying moment, but once you learn something, you're not gonna put up with it the second time. You know, the first time you trust the doctors. No, don't ever trust the doctors. If there's something wrong, you remember the old saying, the squeaky wheel gets the attention, you know, the oil. Be that squeaky wheel. You know, if you take them to the hospital and you know there's something seriously wrong, scream and yell, cry bloody murder, make them doctors listen, and they will. Okay, if you make enough fuss. If you just go in line with the rest of the world, oh, she's not that bad, it's okay. Okay, we'll wait. You know, no.
Well, thank you for
Don't
saving
do that.
me, Big Rich.
You could have gone through the same thing Tracy
I
did.
know, thank you for saving
You were
me.
so close to that being out of blood, and you'd have had a cardiac arrest
Well,
too.
the second time, I don't think you realized how bad it was. So you saw how much blood was coming out of me. Because I said, well, you were like, what do I do?
No,
You're like,
when I send you to the hospital, I know how bad it is.
yeah, but when you
And
saw
then
it
you
the
came
second
back
time,
home, and they did nothing. I knew right then and there, as soon as you came home, to call another 911 and get you to a different hospital, because you came home and had a nosebleed, and it was like a murder scene. It was horrible.
it was over, like, it was all over the bathroom, like through the hallway, in the dining room, over sheets.
Seriously, it looked like she got beat by like 4 guys all through the house.
Just me trying to navigate from point A to point B because I tried to go to the bathroom.
She's holding her nose up like this, and the blood, and then she goes to fall and she hits the wall. So now there's a blood print on the wall. I had to clean for the whole time she was in the hospital. I was cleaning.
I cleaned after that too, so you're saying you were cleaning too?
Oh my God, so much.
I
You
didn't
don't
realize it was
understand.
that bad.
It was bad.
I cleaned up a ton. I thought I cleaned up everything that there was.
Mm-mm. I cleaned the whole time you were in the hospital. What you cleaned up was what I didn't see or didn't fit to.
Oh no.
You were so out of blood, it was crazy. The next step was pulling a Tracy and being out of blood, and then cardiac arrest.
Imagine if they sprayed luminol.
Oh jeez.
DP says, but what's causing the bleedings? It's because I get
Oh, it's
really
fixed
dry.
now.
It's
She's
really
got
dry
her nose cauterized up in there.
No, but what was causing it is my nose gets really dry and a blood vessel bursts, and then it kept bursting because I sneeze a bunch too, so it kept making it worse and worse. So the cauterizing, they burned the inside of my nose a bunch. It actually felt like really cool. Like it feels I don't think I can smell out of this nostril anymore though. I lost
Yeah,
sense
since
of
she got
smell.
cauterized, she lost her sense of smell.
But it's kind of fun. It feels like numb all the time now.
So yeah, it's the situation happened. Like if she was at her mother's, her mother had been like, "No, listen to the doctor. Go lay down, honey." And then she'd have lost more blood, and she could have ended up just like Tracy at that point. You lose so much blood that you don't have enough in you for your heart to pump. And it does a cardiac arrest. So I mean, and your mother would have listened to the doctors, right?
Actually, I don't know. My mom probably would have done what you did.
You think? Okay.
Yeah, she would have freaked out.
Well, that's good.
If she saw me bleeding, like when I came back from the hospital, she would have lost her crap on the people.
Okay. Well,
I'm okay.
let your mother know that I had her back in the situation. I wasn't going to let you, but no.
DPS isn't seasonal. It's because I always get
Every
dry
time
nose.
in the winter,
Yeah,
it gets
but
dry.
It's in the summer a tiny bit, but I get a dry nose
Do
because
you guys realize in the winter time when your heater comes on, you can rub your feet against the carpet and then zap somebody by touching them like that? Remember that?
in the wintertime you can?
In the wintertime, yes.
You gotta wear socks, I know. Should I put on
Right,
some socks?
but
and try
that's
it?
because the air is so dry because the heater is drying out the air in the house. Okay? You got open flame and it's drying out the air in the house. And then you get your nosebleeds. It's every winter it's
Yeah.
going to happen.
Well, no, because I figured out the solution, which is the Vaseline.
Well, now you got the solution, but
The Vaseline's been the best thing that's ever been offered. I got back.
Native Chili says no blood on the Tyson carpet. Nope, we didn't get that. We still got Robin Givens blood on the Tyson carpet, so we got a story to talk about. There's the blood stain where Big Man smacked him. I hate to say that. I like Mike Tyson, but he did smack around Robin Givens.
3 months says run humidifier. I need to get one.
Well, remember back in the old days, the houses had like a wood burner, and then Grandma would always have a pot of water on top of it. As the wood burned, it steamed and made moisture in the house. And that's all you need. Boil some water, put it in front of your intake of your furnace, and it'll do the same thing. Yeah, Sebastian says that could have gone badly very quick. And that's what I'm saying. You were at that verge of losing so much blood that now you're in a peril where they didn't know you were in a peril.
Well, it's like I said,
They go, "Oh, you had a nosebleed. How cute.
Yeah.
Sit over there."
I was actually okay because I was in that stage where I'm just like, it felt like I was on a bunch of drugs or something. I just felt like
You were in a
delirious.
euphoric stage, yeah. But yeah, she don't realize how close to death she came.
But it's bad because I told you because you know how much I hate the doctor, for everything. And I was like, I think I need to go to the hospital. And I hate the doctor.
Well, we're past that now. You're good. We just got to work on Tracy and get her back.
Yeah, she's been doing better though.
She so deserves to wake up and see her granddaughter get remarried and then, live out her life,
No, yeah.
She deserves that.
You know when I stopped watching the live stream? I see a Laura with my little miniature present.
I know. I was trying to get them
and
from
I
her.
see her trying to peel them apart.
Yeah,
but
no.
And
And she was,
I know. I saw it in my head. I'm like, she's just a kid. It's okay. It's my fault for leaving them on the floor where she can get to them. So I'm like, I'm like, it's okay. I can get more.
trying to calm yourself.
Yeah. And I'm like, she's
These
just
were like a
baby.
$1.90, but I know it was stretching you out.
It was. And then it was like for how many minutes? I don't know, but I was like, can't watch this anymore. Can't believe they're
That's
one
funny.
piece.
She took one with her, but I got these
That's
two
fine.
from
That's
her.
fine. She can have them. She can have them.
Boy, when I took them from her, you've seen it. She
I didn't
wanted
see
them
it. No,
back.
because I didn't.
Oh no, she was like,
I didn't
and she was grabbing for it.
Were you just watching her do it the whole time? You're like, oh no.
Well, as long as I left her be with them, she was quiet. But when Josh wanted to take her, and I'm like, okay,
Oh, yeah.
Laura, it's time to go, honey. it's time to go. And I grabbed this up. She's like, she's making noise. I felt so
for those
bad.
of you guys who don't know, I have a little miniature Christmas tree that I put in front of the big Christmas tree, and I have like little miniature presents.
I bought
like
these
going
for
to me.
$1.95, and she was so thrilled that she could put them around her little tree.
Doesn't the little tree look? The little tree's all decorated and everything. Doesn't it look cute though in front of the big tree?
Yeah.
You like it? It's in front of. And then I added my city of miniature houses to your like little station thing. It looks so cute. There's another nasal thing other than Vaseline. I have the nasal thing too. Back in the day, I cut myself the copping on my quarter pipe. I skated in my backyard and I was bleeding a lot. Talked myself out of getting checked and passed out. Friend me as I was bleeding out. Dang. Yeah.
See, that whole thing, if you'd had a situation where you kept on bleeding, you would have ended up, having a cardiac arrest for lack of blood. It was a good thing that, you blacked out and the bleeding stopped and you woke up and your things are better, Your body produces blood and not so much though, like a half a liter a day. And, she was like 4 liters low.
A lot of people don't understand too. I mean, you can have a bad, like, 1-inch cut that, like, could be fatal, if it hits the right spots. And then you could have, like, a foot-long cut that's, nothing. I had to go to the hospital and get stitches one time because I was picking at my lip. Like, just picked up skin, and somehow it hit an artery in my lip. And so blood was shooting out of my lip for, like, 24 hours straight. 24 hours straight like that.
Stay back, demon.
And then,
stay back.
Okay. I didn't realize this until like 5 years ago. And so I was terrified. I've always hated doctors, right? Even when I was like 4 years old, like when this happened. And so, because I had to they were cutting it open so they could like, stitch back the
I'm
artery.
just telling them I got to check on Tracy.
So they could,
She's in there coughing.
they could stitch back the artery and then stitch back my lip. And I was freaking out. I didn't want it to happen. And then they were like, okay, like, let's wrap this rubber band around your arm. I didn't realize they were giving me something that's pretty much, gonna make me go into fun time mode. So I'm just like, oh, there's a rubber band around my arm. I didn't even realize they were giving me a shot. The next thing I know, I'm like, oh, everything's fine. Like, yeah, you can give me stitches. That's okay. And I remember the doctor was giving me stitches, and I'm like, I don't even feel a thing. But it took me until just like 5 years ago to realize that they drugged me up for that. Because I remember just looking back and I'm like, huh. There's probably a reason I stopped freaking out after the rubber band went around my arm. Did you hear that story, Rich?
So.
When they had to stitch everything back, they put a rubber band around my arm,
Okay.
And they were like, look at the rubber band, like, hold it, because they were like about to shoot me up with a drug to, calm me the fuck down so they could calm me the frick down. So
Call me what?
the frick down.
Okay.
So they could.
You're learning not to swear so much.
So they could give me the stitches, and so I was just focused on the rubber band the whole time.
See,
I didn't
usually
know.
they just shoot you with Novocaine and give you the stitches.
No, I was freaking out so much that I was like jumping off the table and stuff. I mean, there was no holding me down. I was like freaking out. I remember screaming and like jumping off the table and trying to run out the door and stuff.
You were a wild child.
And so, I didn't know they gave me the shot, right? Next thing I know, I'm all calm, and they were just giving me the stitches. I was like, you know what? This isn't that bad. I don't even feel a thing. And it took me like till 5 years back to realize that they're putting the rubber band around me to, shoot me up with something.
Right. Oh my goodness. Well, all that matters is you're okay now, and Tracy's doing good, and people learn from situations.
Yeah.
So
it's going to.
if I had to take care of both of you at the same time, I think I'd just stop.
With how Loki's been acting, Loki might be the next one. He might have to go to the animal hospital. Also, Aaron's joining us. Hello, Rich. Been a long time since I've been here. My work schedule changed. I missed the live stream. I hope everything's going good.
How you doing, Aaron? Things going good. We got some nursing now and helping me, but kind of changed my schedule. So now I'm up 3 nights a week, all night long, and then I'm up, 3 days a week, taking care of Tracy 16 hours a day. So I mean, it's a little hectic, but I'm learning to get used to it. But
Well, with how low things been-
Diego Davila, God bless, in the house, Tracy. Rewatch this live stream at the very beginning. I put in a post of how Tracy's doing. She's doing really, really good.
You must have fun, Rich.
I have fun.
Yeah.
Doing what? At what point do I have fun? This is my Friday night. This is the only time I have fun. And this is, what? This is the first Friday in a long time nobody said some rude shit to where it's ruined my day. You know what I'm saying? I'm having fun hanging out with my people.
I guess everybody got banned that was saying rude stuff.
Was it? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to ban them. They have no reason being here ruining my day.
Jets Carlson, why are you always going to be so raunchy? He said, I know you could love them strippers. Yeah,
That's
maybe
not right.
40
You
years
stop
ago.
it. You leave Jens alone. I love them strippers. Me too.
Wait, read Rusty Shackelford's comment. This is funny. I had a small piece of glass taken out of the tip of my finger once, passed out when the numbing needle came in. When I came up back to, I was being held by a big boob nurse.
Now he wants to go back to the hospital any chance he can.
Nate said, are you guys going to get more geos? Probably.
Yes.
Yes, but the problem with that is the ones like Rich had is so hard to come across.
No, they're Geophagus sabani. And I can order them.
As pretty as yours?
Huh?
As pretty as the one you had?
So you can't say that because you can have 12 Geophagus sabanis and, maybe one might turn out with them long filaments like mine had. So, you're going to have to order a bunch of them, raise a bunch of them to full maturity to have some as classy as he was. He was an abnormality. There was no other geos that looked that beautiful, He was a show-winning, award-winning fish, period.
Yeah, that made me so sad when I heard that.
Dude, I
That was
couldn't believe it.
horrible.
When Josh told me, I was like, there's no way. No. And I went running out there. Oh, my God.
Take the discus, not the geophagus.
Don't take any fish. No. See, now, I don't know. My way is, nothing happened. Everything's good. Everything's great. But, someone that made the smart-ass comment that, oh, this kind of stuff has been happening. See,
It's gonna happen when you
listen. I've been keeping true to my followers. Here's the good, here's the bad, here's the ugly. Okay? And I show them everything that happens. If we lose a fish, I let them in on it and let them in on how we feel bad about it and all this different stuff. You lose fish when you get fish shipped to you, and then you lose fish when certain fish get sick. You lose fish when you have water parameters go bad because of a reason. Well, this last situation was Josh took it off the main system, so there's no water passing through. He medicated it, which brought the oxygen down lower. All medication does. Then overnight, the only thing that was giving it air was the FX5, which splashed it back in. How is the FX5 going to die while we take it off of the chances of that happening are no.
I've got a question for you.
So
Rich.
the FX5 died overnight from the sand that the African arrow was bringing up. So it was just a conglomeration of a cluster fuck of ignorance.
Well,
That's what I'm saying. Okay, it no one can call it. It all happened at once. What are the odds of that? The odds are astronomical. That's not going to happen. But it happened that night. Now, if Josh would have thought, since I'm taking it off the system, let's put the air stone back on. Okay. He didn't realize that the air stone in there wasn't connected no more. It was just a bad parody of events that went on that ended up with me losing my favorite fish. And Josh was so scared to tell me.
I think I told you, actually.
I don't know, but Josh came in and he was like, Dad, I have to tell you something. And you're not going to like it. Brace yourself. And okay, go ahead.
I got a question for you, though. You can't listen to those comments, because let me ask you this. Do those people have hundreds of tanks? Do they have thousands of
Well,
fish?
see, that's what I was getting
Do
ready to
they
say.
have hundreds of super rare fish?
Someone said, this is happening a whole lot to you guys. No, when you have 200,000 gallons, it happens more to us than it does to normal people.
Things are gonna go wrong.
But I'm showing the what's real. And here's a fish that we missed, and this fish died, and this could have been avoided by this, or this couldn't have been avoided because how would we know? And I show the good and the bad. And because we have 200,000 gallons of fish, maybe we have a few more deaths than normal, but I show the reality of everything that happens here all the time.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
trolls are going to troll.
Yeah, don't
We
listen
know
to
that.
don't listen to anybody that has less tanks than you have, Rich.
Oh yeah, Rusty. The guy said someone commented that in the video that he had a few really nice geos. I think he said it was in Illinois. Yes, he did, and he's willing to donate them to us. We have to get to Illinois to do that. So I mean, that's amazing, and that's awesome, and that's beautiful, and that's why I hang out with you guys. I love you guys. You guys are all amazing. It's just these few schmucks come in here and they say some evil, ignorant stuff, and it pisses me off. I'm a nice guy, and I treat everybody nice, and I do so much for everybody that I expected to be treated with a certain amount of respect in return. And when these people don't, I get mad. Like, why would you kill such a fish? You're an asshole. Well, you're no longer part of the family. You're removed from our family.
I think I alone. I've lost 3 of my fish so far since living here, and I was devastated every time. But you take these opportunities and you learn from them. You can always keep on learning from things. There's always something that can go wrong that you don't even think about. So after it
With
happens,
so many different situations,
Mhm.
people are like, "Oh," and that was the big thing on this whole geo thing. There was like 8 people like, "Oh, you should have had a heater on there. You should have thought ahead."
that
We
recheated.
didn't have a heater on there. That fish tank is in the room that is heated
Yeah.
by the heater. There's no heaters in any of them tanks. Josh thought he saw ick, so he put a heater in there the night before to raise the temperature, and ick will die at 85 and above. So we raised the temperature to 86, 87, and what it also does is, listen to this, it speeds up. The life cycle of ick is 5 to 7 days. If you put it up to 87 degrees, the life cycle is 3 to 5 days, okay? Which are the white spots on the fish, and you can't kill them at that point. They're buried into your fish, they're eating into your fish, and you're just seeing the back of it. No medication can kill them or nothing. So if you speed up their life cycle, they're only 3 days eating into the skin of your fish, and they fall off. Well, as they fall off, they produce 1,000,000 spores of ick, unseeable by the human eye. And then the cycle starts over again. But if you have the temperature up to 86, 87, all them spores die because they cannot live in that heat, that hot temperature. So we don't put no medication in for ick. We just turn the temperature up to 87.
I can testify to this too.
And this is why there was a heater in that tank, because Josh thought the clown loaches, he thought he saw a couple specks of ick, and he put it in there. So it wasn't the heater that killed them. It was the lack of oxygen that killed them, because he took it off the system, and now there's no air stone running. And then the only way where oxygen was coming in was the FX5 splashing the water and coming back in. And who's going to say that, oh, that's going to die tonight? We never thought about that. We just cleaned the filter on it. It's a fresh FX5. It's good to go. Every 5 years or so, one will start dying out, but they usually make noise, and then they slow down, and we know when to replace them. This one just shut off. That was it. It was packed with sand from the African arowana, picking up sand and letting it out in the water, and then the water column sucking it up into the tube. So it was covered in sand all around its impeller.
Yeah, I helped Josh carry that.
Yeah, so that was the reason for that. But all 5 of these circumstances coming together in one night is astronomically impossible, but it happened. So, I don't know, it kills me. I lost my favorite fish over that.
And what Rich says is really true because I got my first bout of ick in one of my tanks, and it was in the baby tank too. But I raised the temperature up to 86, and what was it? Like, it was gone within like what, 4 days?
5 days. Well,
4 or
you
5
think
days?
4 days. You need 2 more days after that of 86 to
Well, then
87.
I realized yeah, I don't know why there's like ick in those. I've been trying to do more water changes, but
Okay, let me explain something to you.
I don't know how ick works.
Hopefully you'll understand this. Okay? Fish are there. You didn't bring no new fish in, right? So a new fish didn't bring ick with them, right?
No.
Okay. Just like humans. Let's say you're at a party and somebody's sick there. There's 20 people at the party. That person's got the flu. 3 people may wake up in the morning and have the flu. The other, bunch of people did not have the flu. You know why? Their body immune system wards it off, fights it off. Okay? Now, fish, they get under stress when they get moved. So when they move from point A to point B, and you put them in this tank, that tank can have a breakout of ick. Why? Because their stress level is there, and their immune system is lowered down. And then what's in their system already comes out. There is ick in their system.
You just made me realize where it came from.
What?
It came from, remember at the OCA, we got 2 new betas from the OCA.
Okay.
That's the beta that,
You put that in with one of your fish with tank?
yeah, it was in one of the tanks. I moved it to a different tank, and then that's when I bred it, which would make it stress out, because remember those babies got ick?
Okay, that's where it comes from. When you move a fish, you're putting them in stress, and then their antibiotics level goes down, and they can't fight off. Their immune system goes down. They can't fight off the new sickness. Okay, so then you have a breakout of something that came from nowhere. No, it was in your fish already. Just like you have a sickness in your body right now that your immune system is fighting off, and you're healthy as can be. You're good. You're not sick, but your body's still fighting that sickness in your system. Okay. Now, if that sickness wins, let's say you get stuck out in the cold overnight, and you have no blanket, and you wake up freezing, cold, and you come in the house, you've got a cold. That was because your system got weakened and then couldn't fight it off, and now you're in a fight with a disease. You know what I'm saying? It just happens. It happens. Oh yeah, Gil 34 something 334 says Fish Story Rescue has and shows a lot of problems too. He has a lot of problems. I mean, he's a friend of ours and love him to death. He's trying hard, but he's had so many problems. I mean, so many problems. When we were last down there, he had 2 7-foot arapaimas. Both of them jumped out. Both of them ended up dead. And then he had, so many of these fish, and then they got sick, and then they died. And he's having just problem after problem after problem. He's a one-man team and don't have a crew there, okay? In our situation, we have a crew here, but that causes more problems because this person's doing this without this person knowing. So parameters are changing all the time. And that's a problem with us,
That's why we just let Jerry pretty much, because at one point,
let Jerry run it because one cook in the kitchen is enough. Everybody else should listen.
Because at one point it was like me, you, and Jerry, and it was just a mess. Okay, the
It
things
was
were
a
getting fed so
clusterfuck,
much.
yeah.
And once it's just been Jerry down out there, Jerry and Josh, it's been, they talk amongst themselves.
See, this is what we're all about. Dreamland Escape the Chain says, someone's experience known to others can potentially save many others from making the same mistakes. And that's what we're here for. We try and teach and show people the easiest way, because nobody knows about a cycle. Even experienced fish, people. They're like, well, hey, my neighbor has a 125 and he changes his water, 30% every week. I'm going to do the same. But see, nobody understands. Your feeding schedule, your amount of fish in your tank is different than his. The only way you can get a schedule down of water changes is by doing a secure water test. You test the ammonia, you test the nitrites, you test the nitrates. And then, every day for like 2 weeks. And when you get this all leveled out and everything's good, then you go ahead and you feed your fish your normal feeding, and you wait until the nitrates build back up to 40 parts per million. Whether it takes 1 week or 3 weeks, it'll get back up there. Okay, that's the end result of the cycle. So when the nitrates get up to 40 or more, it's time to do a water change. So then you do the water change. You do half a tank and you change it out. Nitrates get down to 20. Now here's where the important stuff comes in. You do a test every single day, and you wait until that nitrate test comes up to 40 again. It may take 1 week, it may take 6 weeks. But when it comes up to 40, that's when you need a half a tank water change again. And that is your schedule, your personalized schedule, because of how much you feed, how many fish you have, all that, how much they poop, everything. It's different for everybody. You can't go by your neighbors, your brothers, or your friends, or whatever. You have to do the work. Once you put in that testing, you know your schedule, and then your fish will never be above 20 parts per million, because every 1 week or every 3 weeks or every 6 weeks, you're changing half a tank,
And I've been having that problem a lot with my sorority, which is why we're tripling their tank size. Same thing with the babies. We're quadrupling their tank size.
You're having problems because you have too many fish and too many tanks.
Well, there's gonna be I don't even know how many more, including containers and tanks. How many more do you think is gonna be added?
I don't know. You need to stop them from breeding so much, because betas are hard to breed. So stop it. You need to stop them from breeding so much so that we can get the system set up for them.
Plop, plop, plop.
Plop babies. Plop babies.
No,
plop.
no. What's funny is Rich says all this stuff, and I was like, "Oh, you're supposed to do that in tanks?" And you're like, "Yeah." Do you know nothing about fish? I'm like, "No, not really." And Rich is like, "How is your fish still alive?" I'm like, "I don't know. They're doing good though." Then you look at them, and you're like, "How is this tank good?" I'm like, "I don't know." Oh, what's been happening with the 15,000-gallon aquarium?
I don't know what that is.
Isn't that the big one that you wanted to get with the expansion?
Oh no, that's way more than 15,000. That's 40-some thousand gallons.
Jesus.
It's a big tank. Well, it's $60,000.
That's a good price for a 40,000. How are you gonna get back here?
We'll work on that.
Wait, what are the dimensions of this?
40 feet long, 14 foot tall, 7 foot from front to back.
All right, so can it go? How long is a semi truck? You're gonna be one of those the
53 foot.
So it'll fit on a semi,
Yes.
but it'll pretty much be a semi truck.
Stop it.
Why? You can make it semi truck themed.
All right, Scotty boy, you have a good night, man. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Jens Carlson said beta, no alpha.
Funny.
He said change water, salt. Actually, I've become a huge salt person. I love using salt in my tanks. Aquarium salt. And I have been doing lots of water changes. Too many water changes.
See, Doom Pie gets it. We are all carrying sickness. But we get sick, we are not healthy and have some immune issues. It's all about the immune system. Yes.
Yeah, I have a horrible immune system. You know that? Remember when I got the flu here? Nobody else got it?
Because we were all on top of things. We're all, solid. We're
calling me the
we're healthy.
Jens Carlson wants you to talk about your biggest deck again.
Jens, you're killing me. Joseph Tower says, how's Reaper been? I haven't talked to him in over a week. I don't know. He's not putting out videos. I don't know what's going on with him.
He's got that broken rib he's dealing with.
Oh,
Rich, I got you something for Christmas.
what's that? I got you something too.
My turn.
Oh, it's so cute. Can you make mine cute?
Oh yeah, also.
It's empty. It's not working.
I made.
This is broke.
Oh yeah, there was
Can you
Hanukkah
fix
too.
it?
There was
Can you
Hanukkah
fix
too
this?
this lesson. Yeah.
Yeah, she's Jewish, so she had Hanukkah here. So every day I let her open a present. I bought her a bunch of. She has these what do they call Funko Pops? So I bought her like a 20-pack Funko Pop from the internet. Every day I let her open one up, and she had her Hanukkah.
I still saved 4 that I have to open.
Jen says, "Hush, little baby." Can I have my cup, please? Oh, work faster, woman. Shannon Johnson says, "Are we getting that billionaire bacon video for Christmas? Do you guys really want that? I mean, I owe it to my head mods. I mean, they are awesome people. I owe it. I need to do it. It's just I've been so busy. It's been crazy. I can make it for you, and basically all it is, it's real simple. You take bacon and you lay it out on a drainage sheet, that has a little like half-inch thing of wire mesh. You put the bacon on there, and now you've got a tray underneath to catch all the liquid. You cook it at 400 degrees for about 35 minutes. Every 10 minutes you check it. So here it is. You take the bacon, you put it out, and then you cover it with, brown sugar. Every one. You crumble and just cover every piece of bacon with brown sugar. And after 10 minutes, it melts and it's down in there. You take the bacon, you flip it over, and you crumble the other side. There's another 10 minutes. Now we're at 20 minutes. Then you go back to the first side, and you take your red hot, what do they call it? What's the red chili flakes? Chili flakes. It's hot. Chili flakes. And then you red pepper. There it is. Red pepper chili flakes. And you sprinkle that on there, and you cook it for the last 10 minutes. That's 30 minutes at 400 degrees. And now the bacon comes out. You got to let it set for about 20 minutes. The bacon comes out. Some people like bacon soggy, like her. I like bacon where you bite it and it just melts into your mouth. It's crunchy and it just dissipates. Well, with the candy coating on top, it's like a crinkle crunch, and then it dissolves in your mouth, and it's so good. It's millionaire bacon, and it is amazing. I will make it for you guys and show it to you, but you're going to watch me eat it too, because I can't stop eating it when I got it around.
Jens Carlson said kosher. Yeah. We're just talking about Hanukkah, and you're just talking about bacon. That's not kosher. Jews
Oh,
can't
no,
eat bacon.
no. We had to make it kosher. I am a priest.
You gotta be a rabbi.
I had to bless.
You can't fix.
I blessed the.
You're
the
a
bacon.
priest, not you're not even you're a minister.
I'm a minister, and I blessed it, so it's kosher.
No, Rich. There's Joseph said, "Have you ever owned any freshwater crabs?"
Yes,
Those sound,
loved them.
I didn't know they made those.
Oh yeah.
Samantha said, "Happy Hanukkah, Skyler." Thank you, Samantha.
Joe Haney says, "Staff party. I'm so drunk, Big Rich. Enjoy yourself, buddy."
Shannon Johnson said, "Sky, when he cooks like this, can you wear his sexy Santa suit and be the helper?"
Thank you for my drink. Can't make bacon kosher? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. It's unholy.
Not like it's not
But
free.
but wait.
It doesn't matter if it's blessed
But wait.
or not. You can't have it.
Hold up. It's kosher if I blessed it.
No, it's not how it works. It's not cool.
Not how it works.
No. Where are you? Where'd Jack go? What'd you do?
It's over here. There you go. I can't even read this. Corpse says, "Hey Rich, I can grow tomatoes."
No, can I grow tomatoes?
Yeah, sure you can. Tomatoes are easy to grow. Do it in the 5-gallon bucket.
Jens Carlson said Rabbi Rich sounds cool. Kosher is pretty much just Saints or Shannon's contents. It's, let me look it up so I can tell you exactly, but it's pretty much, it's got to be blessed by a rabbi. If you're eating meat, it has to be killed in a certain way. They slit the animal's throats to kill them. It has to be done like that while it's being blessed.
No.
You can't have milk and you can't have dairy and meat in like the same meal.
You can't eat a steak with a glass of milk?
No. And for the animals, it has to chew its cud and has split hooves. You can't eat anything that doesn't have split hooves. So you can't have like pigs, rabbits, kangaroo.
I'd change my religion if I were you.
It has to be a domesticated species. Has to have both fins and scales if it's a fish. So you can't have any shellfish or anything like that, or like, you know, catfish. And then you can only eat the trunk, rib, or shoulder blade.
No. Just stop.
So the top
I'd change religion.
You're no longer Jewish?
No, I'm Jewish because I'm cheap. Rich should form his own religion. Exactly. Oh, Joseph Tower. Now that's a good question. Can you please explain to me the whole breakfast corn thing? Yes, breakfast corn is so good. Okay. Let's say you go to the store and you get a can of sweet corn, and you put that on your plate, and you boil it in the water it comes in, and you drain it out, and you put some butter over it, and there's your Thanksgiving meal. You got mashed potatoes, you got corn. Corn has butter on it. You put it on top of each other, you put some salt on it, and you eat it. You like it. Okay. The breakfast corn is my grandmother. Oh my God, God bless that lady. She had 18 kids. She'd cook up homemade biscuits, sausage, bacon, eggs, what else is there? There was fried apples, and then hillbilly delight, which was biscuits dipped in honey mixed with butter, and then there was also breakfast corn. Now, breakfast corn is, if you make a bechamel sauce, which is okay, let me start off here. 1 stick of butter, 3 tablespoons of flour, 2 cups of milk. You melt that all down in the sauce, and that becomes a thick white sauce. Bechamel. That's sort of basically your sausage gravy, and all kinds of other sauces. You make that bechamel sauce, right? And then you add some salt to it. Then you take your sweet corn, say 2-3 cans, and you mix in there with it. And you take a 1/4 cup of sugar and put into that, and you mix that all up. Now it's sweetened buttered corn, and it's breakfast corn. It's so good, and you bite into it, you just want more. It's so awesome.
See, we're the opposites. I love salty and savory. You love sweet. Not my style at all.
I was grown up poor. We couldn't afford sweet. I love sweet now.
I've never liked sweet. I've never liked cake. I never ate it on my birthdays.
You were a little debutante, mama's girl, brought up in a $700,000 house.
No,
with a
$50,000 house.
You had
no, we didn't.
You had a maid.
I had somebody that cleaned our house for $50 once a week.
That's a maid.
It's somebody that cleaned our house for 1 hour.
Oh, she cleaned your house
Barely.
for $50 a week.
Barely. We still had to clean.
That's a maid.
For $50
You had a
week.
maid.
Jens Carlson said Allah Akbar. No, I did not grow up rich at all.
I'm sorry, but
You've given me my
your
most.
father makes over $500,000 a year.
Oh, stop. And don't talk about my parents' finances,
Okay.
but he doesn't.
And
You've given me the most expensive Christmas present I ever got last year.
which is what?
The violin.
That's a $200 present.
I've never gotten anything more than that.
What? Oh, because you're Jewish, you don't celebrate Christmas.
No. For Hanukkah even. Like anything. I've never gotten.
I heard Hanukkah kids don't get presents.
You get it every single day, every night at Hanukkah, and then last night.
Yeah, a piece of toast, you know, or
No.
now
Like
you
the
got
last night-
jelly.
The last night you get a big gift, but I would celebrate Christmas with my dad's side of the family. But I never got anything more expensive than what you got me last year.
How the hell am I going to buy you the most expensive gift you ever had?
I don't know, you did though. So stop acting like I grew up in this super affluent, like bullshit stuff.
Dude, you know your mother.
Stop talking about my mom like
You
this.
know your
too.
father.
Stop talking about my parents. Stop.
They are ritzy.
Stop. No, my
No.
dad lives in a 2-bedroom apartment.
He makes $470,000 a year.
He doesn't need more than a 2-bedroom apartment.
Okay, then he's got bankrolls up the wazoo.
And Arlie, no, my parents don't make all that much. They get taxed out the wazoo.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
I don't like. I don't want to.
I have never made more than like $120,000 in 1 year.
Shannon said she got boats for gifts. No, actually, I used all my own money to buy boats. I saved up money because my parents made me work since I was 15. So I worked my ass off from like 15 until like a couple years ago, and I saved up a ton of money. I invested.
Haley said, "That's rich, Skyler. Most people don't
It's
have
not
a maid."
even- It was a cleaning lady. That came
Okay,
once a week.
it's a maid. A cleaning lady is a maid.
Like everybody had cleaning ladies, though.
I've never had a cleaning lady.
We should. Yeah, no, yes, you do. It's me.
I don't pay you.
I know.
Okay.
I got the bad end of the deal.
Oh, how funny.
No, but I made all my own money. I didn't get anything from my parents. Sebastian said, "Rich, are you saying I will marry good? Because Sebastian's gonna marry me."
If he's going to marry you, you're marrying up, son. She's got quite a little what do you want to call that when the wife has a bountiful thing that the father's going to give the girl gets married. What's it called? A dowry.
Rusty, we weren't rich growing up. We only had one maid. No, my parents made very
She's
poor.
lying.
No, listen. My parents are bad at financially making decisions.
Oh, I told you that.
That's why. Because they're in a lot of debt.
Harley Jim says, never had a maid. Both parents work. No maid. Me neither. I've never had a maid.
I didn't even see the point in the maid. I always told my mom to stop getting it because she would just clean the house before the maid came. So I was like, what's the point?
And telling you.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is the point in having
Telling
one?
you. What you're trying to do.
No. My mom would, we would clean before the maid came, so the house was spotless already. And so the cleaning lady would just be like, dust,
Okay.
dust. And she
I've
cleaned my
seen
data.
your variety of spotless, and let me tell you,
I've seen your variety of spotless, and let me tell
it's a
you.
lot cleaner than you.
No, you're good at putting things away, but not.
My house
can't see.
was like a showroom before you moved in. And now it's like a hoarder's house, every room, everywhere. You have shit everywhere.
I'm trying to get rid of stuff. I was trying to get rid of some of my Funkos, and somebody goes and gets me like 22 of them.
I found a deal. Somebody's selling a bunch of
They're
them. I'm
awesome,
like,
though. I like
I'll
them.
get that for Skyler for a Christmas gift. She likes them.
I love them. But I was trying to downsize, and then now it's. And I downsized.
Rusty says, mellow. Skyler, mellow. Don't give yourself a nosebleed.
In India, lots of cases of suicide because of a dowry. This is Raheem.
See? What's your dowry? You'll agree to argue relentlessly for the rest of your life. What else? Never admit that he's better than you. Never clean the house. What's your dowry? Come on now. Why should these guys marry you up?
I'm cute.
Because you're cute.
Sometimes. AZ gifted 5 memberships.
Thank you, AZ. It has more than 5. 2, 3.
Good for her.
That's 5.
Rusty Shackleford, bullshit. The only Funko worth having is the Jurassic Park ones. He said, I've already made my money back on everything that I got. Like I bought a couple for $40 a piece, sold them each for $500. Right off the bat, they were Game of Thrones ones. It's pretty easy to make money off of them. Jens Carlson says, seen Rich's bedroom? I don't know what that means.
All right, you ready to call it?
Yeah. Do we have anything else to talk about?
Ren.
I'm trying to think if I do.
We're gonna be working on your beta tank tomorrow. I got more curtains to put up, and
we're getting rid of that. I don't want to name the company, but we're getting rid of a tank that I really
we
dislike.
can move it over in front of this tank for now because I got to finish that corner with the new.
Yeah, but it's gonna be emptied.
Okay.
It's gonna be emptied. I want it gone. Ashley Smith says funkies are easy to make money most times. You'd flip if you've seen the ones that are here. Oh my gosh, you have Funkos? Rusty said they have a resale value. Oh my gosh, yeah, if you get the exclusive ones, you can sell them for a crap ton, especially if you get the ones like right as they come out, if you get lucky. But I got a connect at Target, and so she's been saving all the really rare Target exclusives that are going to go out instantly. And I got, she got me 3 of a new one that just came out, and they're already selling online for $40 a pop. So yeah, there's an insane retail value on them.
Excuse me. All right.
Ashley Smith, I'm actually going to be building shelves for mine too, because I think I have. How many do you have? I think now probably like 150.
Manta says, Rich, what does Santa come for Laura? Christmas Eve or Christmas morning? It'll be Christmas morning. You know, I let her open up a present tonight because she was so angsty on the table. Oh, sorry, guys. I don't mean to be yawning on you.
All right.
All right, so we're out here, guys. Thank you for sticking out with us and hanging out around with us. I had fun. How about you? You had fun?
Yeah.
You got made fun of.
It's okay.
It's okay. Usually they're picking on me.
I took one for the team.
You took one for the team. All right. We'll see you guys next Friday, and thank you for hanging out with us. Appreciate it. Love you guys. And this has been, look, one Friday night with no bad comments. I didn't have to delete nobody or nothing. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm hanging out with you guys. So, love you guys, and we'll see you next Friday.
As always.